Numbers chapter 1 The Census. In the second year after Israel's departure from the land of Egypt, on the first day of the second month, the Lord said to Moses at the tent of the meeting in the wilderness of the Sinai, "Take a census of the whole community of the Israelites by clan and ancestral houses, registering by name each male individually. You and Aaron shall enroll in companies all the men in Israel of the 20 years or more who are fit for military service." Moses' assistant. "With you there shall be a man from each tribe, each the head of the ancestral house. These are the names of those who are to assist you: from Reuben, Eliezer, son of the Shedros; from Simeon, Salomiel, son of the Jerushaddai; from Judah, Nashon, son of the Aminadab; from Issachar, Nathaniel, son of the Judah; from Zebulun, Eliab, son of the Helon. For the descendant of the Joseph, from the Ephraim, Elishama, son of the Ammihud; and from Manasseh, Gamaliel, son of the Pedahzur; from Benjamin, Abidan, son of the Gideonites; from them, Izor, son of the Ammishaddai; from Asher, Pagiel, son of the Ochrans; from Gad, Elishaphat, son of the Reuel; from Naphtali, Ariah, son of the Enans. These were the elect of the community, rid of their ancestral tribes, head of the clan of the Israel. So Moses and Aaron took these men who had been designated by names, and assembled the holy community on the first day of the second month. Every man of the 20 years or more men registered individually his name and the lineage according to clan and the ancestral house. As the Lord had commanded Moses, so he enrolls them in the wilderness of the Sinai. Count of the 12 tribes. Of the descent of the Reuben, the firstborn of the Israel, registered individually by name and the lineage according to their clan and the ancestral houses. Every man of the 20 years of the more, everyone fit for the military service. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Reuben were 46,500. Of the descent of the Simeon, registered individually by name and the lineage according to their clan and ancestral houses. Every male of the 20 years or more, everyone fit for military service. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Simeon were 59,300. Of the descent of the Gad, registered by name and the lineage according to their clan and the ancestral houses. Every man of the 20 years or more, everyone fit for military service. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Gad were 45,650. Of the descendant of the Judah, registered by the lineage in clan and the ancestral houses, when all the men of the 20 years or more who were fit for military service were brought. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Judah were 74,600. Of the descent of the Issachar, registered by the name and the lineage according to their clan and the ancestral houses, every man of the 20 years or more, everyone fit for military service. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Issachar were 54,400. Of the descent of the Zebulun, registered by name and the lineage according to their clan and the ancestral houses, every man of the 20 years of the more, everyone fit for the military service. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Zebulun were 57,400. Of the descent of the Joseph, of the descent of the Ephraim, registered by name and the lineage according to their clan of the ancestral houses, every man of the 20 years of the more, everyone fit for the military service. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Ephraim were 40,500. Of the descendants of the Manasseh, reduced by the name of the lineage according to their clan and the ancestral houses, every man of the 20 years or more, everyone fit for the military service. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Manasseh were 32,200. Of the descendants of the Benjamin, registered by name and the lineage according to their clan and the ancestral houses, every male of the 20 years of the more, everyone fit for the military service. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Benjamin were 35,400. Of the descendants of Dan, registered by the name of the lineage according to their clan and the ancestral houses, every man of the 20 years of the more, everyone fit for the military service. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Dan were 62,700. Of the descent of the Asher, registered by the name and the lineage according to their clan and the ancestral houses, every man of the 20 years of the more, everyone fit for military service. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Asher were 41,500. Of the descent of the Naphtali, registered by the name and the lineage according to their clan and the ancestral houses, every man of the 20 years or more, everyone fit for the military service. Those enrolled from the tribe of the Naphtali were 53,400. It was these who were enrolled each according to his ancestral house by Moses and Aaron and the 12 leaders of Israel. The total enrollment of the Israel of the 20 years or more according to their ancestral houses, everyone fit for military service in Israel. The total enrollment was 603,550. Levites omitted in the census. Now the Levites were not enrolled by their ancestral tribe with the others, for the Lord had told Moses, "The tribe of Levi alone you shall enroll, nor include in the census along with the other Israelites. You are to give the Levite the charge of the tabernacle of the covenant with all its equipment and all that belong to it. It is they who shall carry the tabernacles with all its equipment and who shall be its ministers, and they shall camp all around the tabernacles. When the tabernacle is to move on, the Levite shall take it down. When the tabernacle is to pitch, it is a Levite who shall set it up. Any unauthorized person who comes near it shall be put to death. The other Israelites shall camp according to their companies, each in their own divisional camps. But the Levites shall camp around the tabernacle of the covenant to ensure that God's wrath will not fall upon the Israelite communities. The Levites shall keep guard over the tabernacle of the covenant. The Israelites complied. They did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Numbers chapter 2, Arrangement of the Tribes. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "The Israelites shall camp each in their own divisions under the ensigns of their ancestral houses. They shall camp at some distance all around the tent of the meeting. Encamped on the east side toward the sunrise shall be the divisional camp of the Judah, arranged in the companies. The leader of the Judahite is Nahshon, son of Amminadab. And the enrollment of his company is 74,600, encamped beside it in the tribe of the Issachars. The leader of the Issacharite is Nathanael, son of the Juars. And the enrollment of his company is 54,400. Also the tribe of the Zebulun, the leader of the Zebulunite is Eliab, son of Helon. And the enrollment of his company is 57,400. The total enrollment of the camp of the Judah by companies is 186,400. They shall be first on the march. The divisional camp of the Reuben shall be on the south side by companies. The leader of the Reubenite is Elijah, son of the Shedeur. And the enrollment of this company is 46,500. Encamped beside it in the tribe of the Simeon. The leader of the Simeonite is Shalumiel, son of the Shaddai. And the enrollment of the company is 59,300. The next is the tribe of Gad. The leader of the Gadite is Elisab, son of the Ruel. And the enrollment of his company is 45,650. The total enrollment of the camp of the Reuben by companies is 151,450. They shall be second on the march. Then the tent of the meeting and the camp of the Levite shall set out in the midst of the divisions. As they camp, so also they will march, each in place by their divisions. The divisional camp of the Ephraim shall be on the west side by companies. The leader of the Ephraimite is Elishama, son of the Amihud. And the enrollment of this company is 40,500. Beside it shall be the tribe of the Manasseh. The leader of the Manassite is Gamaliel, son of the Pedahjur. And the enrollment of this company is 32,200. Also the tribe of the Benjamin, the leader of the Benjamite is Abidan, son of the Gideonis. And the enrollment of this company is 35,400. The total enrollment of the camp of the Ephraim by companies is 108,100. They shall be third on the march. The divisional camp of the Dan shall be on the north side by companies. The leader of the Danite is Izer, son of the Ammishaddai. And the enrollment of his company is 62,700. Encamped beside it shall be the tribe of the Ashur. The leader of the Ashurite is Bagiel, son of the Ocharans. And the enrollment of his company is 41,500. Also tribe of the Naphtali. The leader of the Naphthalite is Ahira, son of Enan. And the enrollment of this company is 53,400. The total enrollment of the camp of Dan is 157,600. They shall be the last on the march by divisions. These are the enrollment of the Israelites according to the ancestral houses. The total enrollment of the camp by companies is 603,550. The Levite, however, were not enrolled with the other Israelites, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The Israelites did just as the Lord had commanded Moses, both in camp and on the march. They were in their own divisions, everyone by clan and according to ancestral house. Numbers chapter 3, the son of the Aaron. These are the offspring of the Aaron and Moses at the time the Lord spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai. These are the name of the Aaron's sons, Nadab, the firstborn, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the name of the Aaron's sons, the anointed priest who he ordained to serve as priest. But Nadab and Abihu died in the presence of the Lord when they offered the unauthorized fire before the Lord in the wilderness of the Sinai. And there left no sons, so only Eleazar and Ithamar served as the priest during the lifetime of their father Aaron, Levite in place of the firstborn. Now the Lord said to Moses, summon the tribe of the Levi and station them before Aaron the priest to serve him. They shall discharge his obligations and those of the whole community before the time of the meeting by maintaining the tabernacles. They shall have a responsibility for all the furnishing of the tent of the meeting and discharge the obligation of the Israelite by maintaining the tabernacles. You shall assign the Levite to Aaron and his sons. They have been assigned unconditionally to him from among the Israelites. But you will appoint only Aaron and his descendants to exercise the priesthood. Any unauthorized person who comes near shall be put to death. The Lord said to Moses, I hereby take the Levite from the Israelite in the place of the every firstborn that opened the womb among the Israelites. The Levite therefore are mine. Because every firstborn is mine, when I struck down all the firstborn in the land of the Egypt, I consecrate to me every firstborn in Israel. Human being and beast alike, they belong to me. I am the Lord. Census of the Levite. The Lord said to Moses in the wilderness of the Sinai, enroll the Levite by their ancestral houses and the clans, enrolling every male of a month or more. Moses therefore enrolled them at the direction of the Lord, just as the Lord had charged. These were the sons of the Levi by name, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. These were the name of the son of the Gershon by the clans Libni and Shimei. The son of the Kohath by the clans were Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. The son of the Merari by their clans were Mari and Mushi. These were the clan of the Levite by the ancestral houses. Duty of the Levitical clans. To Gershon belonged the clan of the Libnite and the clan of the Shemites. These were the clan of the Gershonites. Their enrollment registering every man of the month or more was 700 or 500. The clan of the Gershonite camped behind the tabernacle to the west. The leader of the ancestral house of the Gershonite was Elishaphat, son of Elias. At the time of the meeting, their responsibility was the tabernacle, the tent and its covering, the curtain at the entrance of the tent of the meeting. The hanging of the court, the curtain at the entrance of the court, enclosing both the tabernacle and the altar, and the ropes, whatever pertained to their maintenance. To Kohath belonged the clan of the Amramite, the Israelite, the Hebronite, and the Uzzielite. These were the clan of the Kohathites. Their enrollment registering every man of the month or more was 8,300. They were the ones who performed the duty of the sanctuaries. The clan of the Kohathite camped on the south side of the tabernacles. And the leader of their ancestral house of the clan of the Kohathite was Elizaphan, son of the Uzziel. Their responsibility was the ark, the table, the menorahs, the altars, the utensil of the sanctuary with which the priest ministers, the veil, and everything pertaining to their maintenance. The chief of the leader of the Levite, however, was Eleazar, son of the Aaron the priest. He was in charge of those who performed the duty of the sanctuaries. To Merari belonged the clan of the Marite and the Mushite. These were the clan of the Meraris. Their enrollment registering every man of the month or more was 6,200. The leader of the ancestral house of the clan of the Merari was Juriel, son of the Abihar. They camped at the north side of the tabernacles. The Merarite was assigned the responsibility for the boards of the tabernacles, its bars, columns, pedestal, and all its fittings, and everything pertaining to their maintenance. as well as the column of the surrounding court with the pedestals, backs, and ropes. East of the tabernacle that is in front of the tent of the meeting toward the sunrise were camped Moses and Aaron and the latter's sons, performing the duty of the sanctuary incumbent upon the Israelites. Any unauthorized person who came near was to put to death. The total enrollment of the Levite whom Moses and Aaron enrolled at the direction of the Lord by clans every male of the months old or more was 22,000. Census and the ransom of the firstborn. The Lord then said to Moses, enroll every firstborn male of the Israelites a month old or more, and count the number of their names. Then take the Levite for me, I am the Lord, in the place of the firstborn of the Israelites, as well as the Levite cattle, in place of all the firstborn among the cattle of the Israelites. So Moses enrolled all the firstborn of the Israelites as the Lord has commanded him. All the firstborn males registered by name of a month or more, numbered 22,273. The Lord said to Moses, take the Levite in the place of all the firstborn of the Israelites, and divide the cattle in place of their cattle, that the Levite may belong to me. I am the Lord. As a redemption price for the 273 firstborn of the Israelites over and above the number of the Levites. You shall take 5 shekels for each individual according to the sanctuary shekel, 20 gerahs to the shekels. Give this money to Aaron and his son as a redemption price for extra numbers. So Moses took the redemption money for those over and above the ones redeemed by the Levite. From the firstborn of the Israelites, he took the money 1,365 shekels according to the sanctuary shekels. He then gave this redemption money to the Aaron and his sons at the direction of the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Numbers chapter 4, duty further defined. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, take a census among the Levites of the Kohathites by clan and the ancestral houses, all between 30 and 50 years of the age, who will join personnel for doing tasks in the tent of the meeting. This is the task of the Kohathites in the tent of the meeting, the most sacred object. In breaking camp, Aaron and his sons shall go in and take down the screening curtain and cover the ark of the covenant with it. Over these they shall put a cover of the yellow-orange skin, and on the top of this spread on all violet cloth and put the bowls in place. On the table of the presence they shall spread the violet cloth and put on it the plate and the cups, as well as the bowls and the pitchers for libations. The east bullish bread offering shall remain on the tables. Over these they shall spread the scarlet cloth and cover it with the covering of the yellow-orange skin and put the bowls in place. They shall use a violet cloth to cover the menorah of the right with its lamps, tongues, and the trays, as well as the various containers of oil from which it is supplied. The menorah will, with all its utensils, they shall put in a covering of the yellow-orange skin and place on a litters. Over the golden altar they shall spread a violet cloth and cover this also with the covering of the yellow-orange skin and put the bowls in place. Taking utensils of the sanctuary service, they shall put them all in a violet cloth and cover them with the covering of the yellow-orange skin. They shall then place them on a litters. After cleansing the altar of its ashes, they shall spread the purple cloth over it. On this they shall put all the utensils with which it is served, the fire pans, the forks, the shovelberries, the basins, and all the utensils of the altars. They shall then spread the covering of the yellow-orange skin over this, and put the bowls in place. Only after Aaron and his sons have finished covering the sacred object and all their utensils on the breaking camp, can the Kohathite enter to carry them. But they shall not touch the sacred object. If they do, they will die. These then are the objects in the tent of meeting that the Kohathite shall carry. Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, shall be in charge of the oil for the rite, the fragrant incense, the Easter bullock, the grain offering, and the anointing oil. He shall be in charge of the whole tabernacle with all the sacred objects and the utensils that are in it. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, do not let the group of the Kohathite clans perish from among the Levites, that they may live and not die when they approach the most sacred object. This is what you shall do for them. Aaron and his sons shall go in assigned to each of them his task and what he must carry. But the Kohathite shall not go in to look upon the sacred object even for an instant, or they will die. The Lord said to Moses, take a census of the Gershonite also by ancestral houses and clans, enrolling all the between 30 and 50 years of age who will join the personnel to do the work in the tent of the meeting. This is a task of the clan of the Gershonite, what they must do and what they must carry. They shall carry the curtain of the tabernacle, the tent of the meeting with its covering and the outer wrapping of the yellow-orange skin, the curtain at the entrance of the tent of the meeting. The hanging of the curtain at the entrance to the gate of the court, they enclosed both the tabernacle and the altars, together with their ropes and all other objects necessary for their use. Whatever is to be done to maintain these things, they shall do. The service of the Gershonite shall be entirely under the direction of Aaron and his sons, with regard to what they must carry and what they must do. You shall list for them by name what they are to carry. This then is the task of the clan of the Gershonite in the tent of the meeting, and they shall be under the supervision of the Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. The Merarite too you shall enroll by clans and ancestral houses, enrolling all between the 30 and the 50 years of age who will join the personnel to maintain the tent of the meeting. This is what they shall be responsible for carrying with respect to all their service in the tent of the meeting. The boards of the tabernacle with its bars, columns, and pedestals, and the column of the surrounding court with their pedestal bags and the ropes, including all their accessories and everything for their maintenance. You shall list by name the object they shall be responsible for carrying. This then is the task of the clan of the Merarite with respect to all the service in the tent of the meeting under supervision of the Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. Number of the adult Levite. So Moses and Aaron and the leader of the community enrolled the Kohathite by clan and the ancestral houses, or between 30 and 50 years of age who will join the personnel to work in the tent of the meeting. Their enrollment by clan was 2,750. Such was the enrollment of the clan of the Kohathite. Everyone who was to serve in the tent of the meeting, whom Moses enrolled, together with Aaron as the Lord directed through Moses. As for the enrollment of the Gershonite by clan and the ancestral houses, or between 30 and 50 years of age who will join the personnel to work in the tent of the meeting. Their enrollment by clan and the ancestral houses was 630. Such was the enrollment of the clan of the Gershonite, everyone who was to serve in the tent of the meeting, whom Moses enrolled, together with Aaron as the Lord directed. As for the enrollment of the clan of the Moralite by clan and the ancestral houses, all from the 30 up to 50 years of the age who will join the personnel to work in the tent of the meeting. Their enrollment by clans was 3,200. Such was the enrollment of the clan of the Merarite, whom Moses enrolled together with Aaron as the Lord directed through Moses. As for the total enrollment of the Levite, which Moses and Aaron and the Israelite leader had made, by clan and ancestral houses, all between 30 and 50 years of age who were to undertake a task of the service or transport for the tent of the meeting. Their total enrollment was 8,580. As the Lord directed through Moses, they gave each of them their assignment for service and for transport, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Numbers chapter 5, the unclean expelled. The Lord said to Moses, order the Israelites to expel from the camp everyone with the scaly infection, and everyone suffering from the discharge, and everyone who has become unclean by contact with the corpse. Male and female alike, you shall expel them from the camp, so that they do not defile their camp, where I dwell in their midst. This the Israelites did, expelling them from the camp, just as the Lord had commanded Moses, so the Israelites did. Unjust possession. The Lord said to Moses, tell the Israelites, if a man or a woman commit any offense against another person, thus breaking faith with the Lord and thereby become guilty, that person shall confess the wrong that has been done, make a restitution in full, and in addition give 1/5 of its value to the one that has been wronged. However, if there is no next of the kin, one to whom restitution can be made, the restitution shall be made to the Lord and shall fall to the priest. This is apart from the lamb of the atonement with which the priest makes atonement for the guilty individuals. Likewise, every contribution among the sacred offering that the Israelite present to the priest will belong to him. Each shall possess his own sacred offering. What is given to a priest shall be his. Ordeal for suspected adulteries. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and tell them, if a man's wife goes astray and becomes unfaithful to him, by virtue of the man having intercourse with her in secret from the husband, and she is able to conceal the fact that she has defiled herself for the lack of the witness who might have caught her in the act. Or if a man is overcome by a feeling of the jealousy that makes him suspect his wife, and she has defiled herself, or if a man is overcome by the feeling of the jealousy that makes him suspect his wife, and she has not defiled herself, then the man shall bring his wife to the priest as well as the offering on her behalf on 10th of the ephah of the barley meal. However, he shall not pour oil on it, nor put frankincense over it, since it is a grain offering of the zealous, a grain offering of the remembrance which records wrongdoings. The priest shall first have the woman come forward and stand before the Lord. In an earthen vessel he shall take holy water as well as some dust from the floor of the tabernacle and put it in the water. Making the woman stand before the Lord, the priest shall uncover her head and place in her hands the grain offering of the remembrance. That is the grain offering of the zealous, while he himself shall hold the word of the bitterness that brings a curse. Then the priest shall adjure the woman, saying to her, If no other man has had intercourse with you, and you have not gone astray by defiling yourself while under the assault of your husband, be immune to this word of the bitterness that brings a curse. But if you have gone astray while under the authority of your husband, and if you have defiled yourself and other man your husband has had intercourse with you, so shall the priest adjure the woman with this imprecation. May the Lord make you a curse and a malediction among your people by causing your uterus to fall and your belly to swell. May this word then that brings a curse enter your bowels to make your belly swell and your uterus falls. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. The priest shall put these curses in writing and shall then wash them out into water of bitterness. And he will have the woman drink the water of the bitterness that brings a curse, so that the word that brings a curse may enter into her to her bitter heart. But first the priest shall take the grain offering of the zealous from the woman's hand, and having elevated the grain offering before the Lord, shall bring it to the altars, where he shall take a handful of the grain offering as a token offering and burn it on the altars. Only then shall he have the woman drink the water. Once he has had her drink the water, if she has defiled herself and been unfaithful to her husband, the water that brings the curse will enter into her to the bitter heart, and her belly will swell and her uterus will fall, so that she will become a curse among her peoples. If, however, the woman has not defiled herself, but is still poor, she will become immune and will still be fertile. This then is a ritual for zealous when a woman goes astray while under the authority of her husband and defiled herself. Or when such a feeling of the zealous comes over a man that he becomes suspicious of his wife, he shall have her stand before the Lord, and the priest shall perform this entire ritual for her. The man shall be free from punishment, but the woman shall bear her punishment. Numbers chapter 6, Laws concerning Nazarite. The Lord said to Moses, Speak to Israelites and tell them, when the man of the woman solemnly take the Nazarite vow to dedicate themselves to the Lord, they shall abstain from the wine and the strong drink. They may neither drink wine and vinegars, other vinegars, or any kind of the grape juice, nor eat either fresh or dried grapes. As long as they are Nazarite, they shall not eat anything of the produce of the grapevines, not even the seed or the skins. While they are under the Nazarite vow, no razor shall touch their hair until the period of their dedication to the Lord is over. They shall be holy, letting the hair of their heads grow freely. As long as they are dedicated to the Lord, they shall not come near a dead person. Not even for their father or mother, sister or brother should they defile themselves when these die, since their heads bear their dedication to God. As long as they are Nazarite, they are holy to the Lord. If someone dies very suddenly in their presence, defiling their dedicated heads, they shall shave their heads on the day of their purification, that is, on the 7th day. On the 8th day they shall bring 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons to the priest at the entrance of the tent of the meeting. The priest shall offer up the one as a purification offering and the other as a burnt offering, thus making atonement for them for the sin they committed. With respect to the corpse, on the same day they shall reconsecrate their heads. and rededicate themselves to the Lord for the period of their dedication. Bring the yearling lamb as a reparation offering. The previous period is now valid because they defiled their dedicated heads. This is a ritual for the Nazarite. When the period of their dedication is complete, they shall go to the entrance of the tent of the meeting, bringing their offering to the Lord, one unblemished yearling lamb for a burnt offering, one unblemished yearling lamb for a purification offering, one blemished lamb as a communion offerings, and a basket of the unleavened cakes of the brown flour mixed with oil, and of the unleavened wafers spread with oil, along with their grain offering and the libations. The priest shall present them before the Lord and shall offer up the purification offering and the burnt offering for them. He shall then offer up the lamb as a communion sacrifice to the Lord, along with the basket of the unleavened cakes, and the priest will offer the grain offering and the libations. Then at the entrance of the tent of the meeting, the Nazarite shall shave his or her dedicated head. Take the hair of the dedicated head and put it in the fire under the communion sacrifice. After the Nazarite has shaved up the dedicated hair, the priest shall take a boiled shoulder of the lamb, as well as one unleavened cake from the basket and one unleavened wafers, and shall put them in the hands of the Nazarites. The priest shall then elevate them as an elevated offering before the Lord. They are an offering belong to the priest, along with the brisket of the elevated offering and the leg of the contribution. Only after this may the Nazarite drink wine. This then is the law for the Nazarite. That is what they vow as the offering to the Lord in accord with their dedications, apart from anything else which their means may allow. In keeping with the vow they take, so shall they do, according to the law of their dedications. The priestly blessing. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to Aaron and his son and tell them, this is how you shall bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord let his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord look upon you kindly and give you peace. So shall they invoke my name upon the Israelites, and I'll bless them." Numbers chapter 7, offering of the tribal leaders. Now when Moses had completed the erection of the tabernacle, he anointed and consecrated it with all its equipment, as well as the altar with all its equipment, after he anointed and consecrated them. An offering was made by the tribal leaders of the Israel, who was the head of the ancestral houses, the same leader of the tribes who supervised those enrolled. The offering they brought before the Lord consisted of the 6 wagons for baggage and 12 oxen. That is a wagon for every 2 tribal leaders and an ox for each. These they presented before the tabernacles. The Lord then said to Moses, "Accept their offering, that these things may be put to use to maintain the tent of the meeting. Assign them to the Levite, to each according to his duties." So Moses accepted the wagons and the oxen and assigned them to the Levite. He gave 2 wagons and 4 oxen to the Gershonite according to their duties, and the 4 wagons and 8 oxen to the Merarite according to their duties, under the supervision of the Ithamar, son of the Aaron the priest. He gave none to the Kohathite because they were responsible for the maintenance of the sacred object that had to be carried on their shoulders. For the dedication of the altar, also the tribal leader brought offering when it was anointed. The leader presented their offering before the altars. But the Lord said to Moses, "Let one leader each day present his offering for the dedication of the altars." The one who presented his offering on the first day was Nashon, son of the Nab, of the tribe of the Judah. His offering consists of the 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekels. Both fairly the brown flour mixed with oil for grain offerings. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fair with the incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb for a burnt offering, 1 goat for the purification offering, and 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 he-goat, and 5 yearling lamb for a communion sacrifice. This was the offering of the Nashon, son of the Nab. On the second day, Nathanael, son of the Judah, tribal leader of the Isaac, made his offerings. He presented as his offering 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekels. Both fairly the brown flour mixed with oil for grain offerings. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fair with the incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb of the burnt offering, 1 goat for the purification offering, and 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 he-goat, and 5 yearling lamb for the communion sacrifice. This was the offering of Nathanael, son of the Judah. On the third day, it was the turn of the tribal leader of the Jebulonite, Eliab, son of the Helon. His offering consists of the 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekel, both fairly the brown flour mixed with oil for grain offerings. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fairly the incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb for the burnt offering, 1 goat for the purification offering, and 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 he-goat, and 5 yearling lamb for the communion sacrifice. This was the offering of the Eliab, son of the Helon. On the first day, it was the turn of the tribal leader of the Reubenite, Elizah, son of the Shedeur. His offering consists of the 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekels. Both fairly the brown flour mixed with oil for grain offerings. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fairly the incense, 1 bull from the herds, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb for burnt offerings, 1 goat for the purification offerings, and 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 he-goat, and 5 yearling lamb for the communion sacrifice. This was the offering of the Eliezer, son of the Shedeur. On the 5th day, it was the turn of the tribal leader of the Simonite, Salumiel, son of the Jerushadai. His offering consists of the 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekels. Both fairly the brown flour fixed with oil for grain offerings. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fair with incense. 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb of the burnt offerings, 1 goat for the purification offerings, and 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 he-goat, and 5 yearling lamb for the communion sacrifice. This was the offering of the Shelumiel, son of the Jerushadai. On the 6th day, it was the turn of the tribal leader of the Gadite, Elishapel, son of the Reuel. His offering consisted of the 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekel. Both fairly the brown flour mixed with oil for the grain offerings. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fair with incense. 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb for the burnt offerings, 1 goat for the purification offerings, and 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 he-goat, and 5 yearling lamb of the communion sacrifice. This was the offering of the Elisaph, son of the Reuel. On the seventh day, it was the turn of the tribal leader of the Ephraimite, Elishama, son of the Ammihud. His offering consisted of the 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels according to the sanctuary shekels. Both fairly the brown flour mixed with oil for the grain offering. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fairly the incense. 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb for the burnt offering, 1 goat for the purification offerings. And 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 goat, and 5 yearling lambs for the communion sacrifice. This was the offering of the Elishama, son of the Ammihud. On the 8th day, it was the turn of the tribal leader of the Manassite, Gamaliel, son of the Pedazur. His offering consists of the 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels according to the sanctuary shekels. Both fairly the brown flour mixed with oil for the grain offerings. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fairly the incense. 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb for the burnt offering, 1 goat for the purification offering. And 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 he-goat, and 5 yearling lamb of the communion sacrifice. This was the offering of the Gamaliel, son of the Pedazur. On the 9th day, it was the turn of the tribal leader of the Benjaminite, Abidan, son of the Gideonites. His offering consisted of the 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels according to the sanctuary shekels. Both fairly the brown flour mixed with oil for grain offerings. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fairly the incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb for burnt offerings, 1 goat for the purification offerings, and 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 he-goat, and 5 yearling lambs for the communion sacrifice. This was the offering of the Abidan, son of the Gideonites. On the 10th day, it was the turn of the tribal leader of the Danite, Izar, son of the Ammishaddai. His offering consisted of the 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels according to the sanctuary shekels. Both fairly the brown flour mixed with oil for grain offerings. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fairly the incense. 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb for burnt offering, 1 goat for the purification offerings. And 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 he-goat, and 5 yearling lambs for communion sacrifice. This was the offering Izar, son of the Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, it was the turn of the tribal leader of the Asherite, Pagiel, son of the Achans. His offering consisted of the 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels according to the sanctuary shekels. Both fairly the brown flour mixed with oil for the grain offerings. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fairly the incense. 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb for the burnt offering, 1 goat for the purification offerings. And 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 he-goat, and 5 yearling lambs for the communion sacrifice. This was the offering of the Pagiel, son of the Ochans. On the 12th day, it was the turn of the tribal leader of the Naphthalite, Ahira, son of the Enans. His offering consisted of the 1 silver plate weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin weighing 70 shekels according to the sanctuary shekels. Both fairly the brown flour mixed with oil for the grain offerings. 1 gold cup of the 10 shekels weight fairly the incense, 1 bull from the herd, 1 ram and 1 yearling lamb for the burnt offering, 1 goat for the purification offerings. And 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 he-goat, and 5 yearling lambs for the communion sacrifice. This was the offering of the Ahira, son of the Enans. This was the offering for the dedication of the altar given by the tribal leader of the Israel on the occasion of its anointings. 12 silver plates, 12 silver basins, and 12 gold cups. Each silver plate weighed 130 shekels, and each silver basin 70, so that all the silver of these vessels amount to the 2,400 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekels. The 12 gold cups that were filled with the incense weighed 10 shekels apiece, according to the sanctuary shekels, so that all the gold of the cups amount to the 120 shekels. The animal for the burnt offering were in all 12 bulls, 12 lambs, and 12 yearling lambs with their grain offerings. Those for the purification offering were 12 goats. The animal for the communion sacrifice were in all 24 bulls, 60 lambs, 60 he-goats, and 60 yearling lambs. These then were the offering for the dedication of the altar after it was anointed, the voice. When Moses entered the tent of the meeting to speak with God, he heard the voice addressing him from above the cover on the Ark of the Covenant, from between the two cherubim, and so it spoke to him. Numbers chapter 8, the menorahs. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to Aaron and say, when you set up the menorah's lamps, have the 7 lamps through the right in the front of the menorahs." Aaron did so, setting up the menorah lamps to face the area in the front of the menorahs, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. This is the construction of the menorahs, hammered gold from its base to its bowels. It was hammered according to the pattern which the Lord had shown Moses, so he made the menorahs. Purification of the Levite. The Lord said to Moses to take the Levite from among the Israelites and cleanse them. This is what you shall do to them to cleanse them. Sprinkle them with the water of the purification. Have them shave their whole bodies and wash their garments, and so cleanse themselves. Then they shall take a bull from the herd along with its grain offering of the brown flour mixed with oil, and you shall take another bull from the herd for purification offerings. Bringing the Levite before the tent of the meeting, you shall assemble also the whole community of the Israelites. When you have brought the Levite before the Lord, the Israelites shall lay their hands upon them. Aaron shall then present the Levite before the Lord as an elevated offering from the Israelites, that they may perform the service of the Lord. The Levite in turn shall lay their hands on the heads of the bulls, offering one as a purification offering and the other as a burnt offering to the Lord, to make atonement for the Levite. Then you shall have the Levite stand before Aaron and his sons, and you shall present them as an elevated offering to the Lord. Thus you shall separate the Levite from the rest of the Israelites, and the Levite shall belong to me. Only then shall the Levite enter upon their service in the tent of the meeting, when you have cleansed them and presented them as unelevated offerings. For they among the Israelites are totally dedicated to me. I have taken them for myself in place of the everyone that opens the wombs, the firstborn of the older Israelites. Indeed, all the firstborn among the Israelites, human being and beast alike, belong to me. I consecrated them to myself on the day I killed on the firstborn in the land of Egypt. But I have taken the Levite in place of the older firstborn Israelites. And from among the Israelites I have given to Aaron and his son these Levites, who are to be dedicated, to perform the service of the Israelites in the tent of the meeting, and to make atonement for them, so that no plague may strike among the Israelites should they come too near the sanctuaries. This then is what Moses and Aaron and the whole community of the Israelites did with respect to the Levite. The Israelites did exactly as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning them. When the Levites had purified themselves and washed their garments, Aaron presented them as an elevated offering before the Lord, and made atonement for them to cleanse them. Only then did they enter upon their service in the tent of the meeting under the supervision of Aaron and his sons, exactly as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so it was done with regard to them. Age limit for Levitical service. The Lord said to Moses, "This is the rule for the Levite. Everyone 25 years old or more shall join the personnel in the service of the tent of the meeting. But everyone 51 up shall retire from the workforce and serve no more. They shall assist their fellow Levites in the tent of the meeting in performing their duties. But they shall not do the work. This then is how you are to regulate the duty of the Levite." Numbers chapter 9, second Passover. The Lord said to Moses in the wilderness of the Sinai in the first month of the second year following their departure from the land of Egypt, "Tell the Israelites to celebrate the Passover at the prescribed time. In the evening twilight of the 14th day of this month, you shall celebrate it at its prescribed time, in accord with all its statutes and regulations." So Moses told the Israelites to celebrate the Passover, and they did celebrate the Passover on the 14th day of the first month during the evening twilight in the wilderness of the Sinai. Just as the Lord had commanded Moses, so the Israelites did. There were some, however, who were unclean because of the human corpse and so could not celebrate the Passover that day. These men came up to Moses and Aaron that same day. And they said to them, "Although we are unclean because of the human corpse, why should we be afraid of the presenting the Lord offerings at its prescribed time along with other Israelites?" Moses answered them, "Wait so that I can run what the Lord will command in your regard." The Lord then said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites, if any one of you or of your descendants is unclean because of the human corpse, or is absent on journeys, you may still celebrate the Lord's Passover. But you shall celebrate it in the second month on the 14th day of that month during the evening twilight, eating it with the unleavened bread and the bitter herbs, not leaving any of it over till mornings, nor breaking any of its bones, but observing all the statutes of the Passover. However, anyone who is clean and not away on the journey, who yet fails to celebrate the Passover, shall be cut off from the people for not presenting the Lord offering at the prescribed time. That person shall bear the consequence of these sins. If an alien who lives among you who celebrate the Lord's Passover, it shall be celebrated according to the statute and the regulation for the Passover. You shall have the same law for the resident alien as for the native of the land. The fiery cloud. On the day when the tabernacle was erected, the cloud covered the tabernacle, the tent of the covenant. But from evening until morning, it took on the appearance of the fire over the tabernacles. It was always so during the day, the cloud covered the tabernacle, and at night had the appearance of fire. Whenever the cloud rose from the tent, the Israelites would break camp. Wherever the cloud settled, the Israelites would pitch camp. At the direction of the Lord, the Israelites broke camp, and at the Lord's direction they pitched camp. As long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacles, they remained in camp. Even when the cloud lingered many days over the tabernacles, the Israelites kept the charge of the Lord and would not move on. Yet if it happened the cloud was over the tabernacles only for a few days, at the direction of the Lord they stayed in camp. and at the Lord's direction they broke camp. If it happened the cloud remained there only from evening until morning, when the cloud rose in the morning, they would break camp. Whether the cloud lifted during the day or the night, they would then break camp. Whether the cloud lingered over the tabernacle for 2 days or 4 months or longer, the Israelites remained in camp and did not break camp, but when it lifted, they broke camp. At the direction of the Lord, they pitched camp, and at the Lord's direction, they broke camp. They kept the charge of the Lord as the Lord directed them through Moses. Numbers chapter 10, the silver trumpet. The Lord said to Moses, "Make 2 trumpets of silver, making them of the emerald silver, for you to use in summoning the community and in breaking camp. When both are blown, the whole community shall gather around you at the entrance of the tent of the meeting. But when one of them is blown, only the tribal leaders, the head of the clan of the Israel, shall gather around you. When you sound the signal, those encamped on the east side shall break camp. When you sound the second signal, those encamped on the south side shall break camp. When you sound the third signal, those encamped on the west side shall break camp. When you sound the fourth signal, those encamped on the north side shall break camp. Thus shall the signal be sounded for them to break camp. But in calling forth an assembly, you are to blow a blast without sounding the signals. The sons of Aaron, the priest, shall blow the trumpet. This is prescribed forever for you and your descendants. When in your own land you go to the war against the enemy that is attacking you, you shall sound the alarm on the trumpets. And you shall be remembered before the Lord your God and be saved from your foes. And when you rejoice on your festivals and your new moon feast, you shall blow the trumpet over your burnt offering and your communion sacrifice, so that this serves as a reminder of you before your God. I, the Lord, am your God." Departure from Sinai. In the second year, on the 20th day of the second month, the cloud rose from the tabernacle of the covenant. And the Israelites moved on from the wilderness of the Sinai by stages until the cloud came to rest in the wilderness of the Barans. The first time that they broke camp at the direction of the Lord through Moses. The divisional camp of the Judahite, arranged in the companies, was the first to set out. Over its whole company was Nashon, son of the Aminadab, with Nathaniel, son of the Joah, over the company of the tribe of the Issacharites, and Eliab, the son of the Haron, over the company of the tribe of the Zebulunites. Then after the tabernacle was dismantled, the Gershonite and the Merarite who carried the tabernacle set out. The divisional camp of the Reubenite, arranged in the companies, was the next to the set out. Over its whole company was Elizah, son of the Shedeur, with Salumiel, son of the Shaddai, over the company of the tribe of the Simonite, and Elisaph, son of the Ruel, over the company of the tribe of the Gadite. The Kohathite who carried the sacred object that set out before the arrival of the tabernacle would be erected. The divisional camp of the Ephraimite set out next, arranged in the companies. Over its whole company was Elishama, son of the Ammihud, with Gamaliel, son of the Padajos, over the company of the tribe of the Manassites, and Abidan, son of the Gedoni, over the company of the tribe of the Benjaminites. Finally, as the rear guard for all the camps, the divisional camp of the Danite set out, arranged in the companies. Over its whole companies was Ahijah, son of the Ammishaddai, with Bagiel, son of the Ochans, over the company of the tribe of the Asherites, and Ariah, son of the Enan, over the company of the tribe of the Naphtalites. This was the order of the march for the Israelites, company by company, when they set out. Hobab as guide. Moses said to Hobab, son of the Ruel, the Midianite, Moses' father, rose. We are setting out for the place concerning which the Lord has said, I'll give it to you. Come with us, and we will be generous toward you, for the Lord has promised prosperity to Israel. But he answered, No, I'll not come. I am going instead to be a land of my birth. Moses said, Please do not leave us. You know where we can camp in the wilderness, and you can serve as our guide. If you come with us, we will share with you the prosperity the Lord will bestow on us into wilderness. From the mountain of the Lord they made a journey of the 3 days, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them for the 3-day journey to seek out the resting place for them. And the cloud of the Lord was over them by day when they set out from camp. Whenever the ark set out, Moses would say, Rise, O Lord, may your enemies be scattered, and may those who hate you flee before you. And when it came to rest, he would say, Bring back, O Lord, the myriad of the Israel troops. Numbers chapter 11, Discontent of the people. Now the people complained bitterly in the hearing of the Lord, and when he heard it, his wrath flared up. So there a lot of fire burned among them and consumed the outskirts of the camp. But when the people cried out to Moses, he prayed to the Lord, and the fire died out. Hence that place was called Taberah, because there the fire of the Lord burned among them. The refract among them were so great for meat that even the Israelites lamented again, If only we had meat for food. We remember the fish we used to eat without cost in Egypt, and the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlics. But now we are famished, we have nothing to look forward to but this manna. Manna was like a coriander seed and had the appearance of the better limbs. When they had gone about to gather it up, the people would grind it between millstone or pound it on mortars, then cook it on the pot and make it into loaves with a rich, creamy taste. At night, when dew fell upon the camp, the manna also fell. When Moses heard the people, family after family, crying at the entrance of their tents, so that the Lord became very angry, he was grieved. Why do you treat your servants so badly? Moses asked the Lord, Why are you so displeased with me that you burden me with all these peoples? Was it I who conceived all these peoples, or was it I who gave them birth, that you tell me to carry them at my breast? Like a rose carrying at the infant to the land you have promised on the oath to their fathers? Where can I get meat to give it only to these people, for they are carrying to me, Give us meat for our food. I cannot carry all these people by myself, for they are too heavy for me. If this is the way you will deal with me, then please do me the favor of killing me at once, so that I need no longer face my distress. The 70 elders. Then the Lord said to Moses, Assemble for me 70 of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be elders and authority among the peoples, and bring them to the tent of the meeting when they are in place beside you. I'll come down and speak with you. There I'll also take some of the Spirit that is on you, and will confer it on them, that they may share the burden of the people with you. You will then not have to bear it by yourself. To the people, however, you shall say, Sanctify yourself for tomorrow, when you shall have meat to eat. For in the hearing of the Lord you have cried. If only we had meat for food, or how well off we were in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you meat to eat. And you'll eat it not for 1 day or 2 days or 5 or 10 or 20 days, but for a whole month until it comes out of your every nostril and becomes a loathsome to you. For you have rejected the Lord who is in your midst, and in his presence you have cried, why did he ever leave Egypt? But Moses said, the people around me include 600,000 soldiers, yet you say, I'll give them meat to eat for a whole month. Can enough sheep and cattle be slaughtered for them? If all the fish of the sea were caught for them, would they have enough? The Lord answered Moses, is this beyond the Lord's reach? You shall see now whether or not what I have said to you take place. The Spirit on the elders. So Moses went out and told the people what the Lord had said. Gathering 70 elders of the people, he had them stand around the tent. The Lord then came down in the cloud and spoke to him, taking some of the Spirit that was on Moses. He bestowed it on the 70 elders. As in the Spirit came to rest on them, they prophesied but did not continue. Now 2 men, one named Dead and the other Medad, had remained in the camp, yet the Spirit came to rest on them also. They too had been on the rest, but had not gone out to the tent, and so they prophesied in the camp. So when a young man ran and reported to the Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Joshua son of Nun, who from his youth had been Moses' aide, said, my Lord Moses, stop them. But Moses answered him, are you zealous for my sake? If only the people of the Lord were prophets, if only the Lord would bestow his Spirit on them. Then Moses retired to the camp along with the elder of the Israel, the Keros. There arose a wind for the Lord that drove in hail from the sea and left them all around the campsite, to a distance of the day's journey and at the depth of the 2 cubits upon the ground. So all that day, all night, and all the next day, the people set about together in the chaos. Even the one who got the rest gathered 10 homers of them. Then they spread them out all around the camp. But while the meat was still between their teeth before it could be chewed, the Lord raised a flame up against the people, and the Lord struck them with a very great plague. So that place was named Kibroth Hattaavah, because it was there that the great people were buried. From Kibroth Hattaavah, the people set out for Hazeroth, where they stayed. Numbers chapter 12, jealous of Aaron and Miriam. Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses on the pretext of the Cushite woman he had married, for he had in fact married a Cushite woman. They complained, is it through Moses alone that the Lord has spoken? Has he not spoken through us also? And the Lord heard this. Now the man Moses was very humble, more than anyone else on earth. So at once the Lord said to Moses and Aaron and Miriam, come out, you 3, to the tent of the meeting, and the 3 of them went. Then the Lord came down in a column of the cloud, and standing at the entrance of the tent, called Aaron and Miriam when both came forward. The Lord said, now listen to my words. If there are prophets among you, in vision I reveal myself to them. In dreams I speak to them. Not so with my servant Moses. Throughout my house he is worthy of trust. Face to face I speak to him, plainly and not in riddles. The likeness of the Lord he beholds. Why then do you not fear to speak against my servant Moses? And so Lord raised fled against them, and he departed. Miriam punishment. Now the cloud withdrew from the tent, and there was Miriam stricken with a scaly infection, white as snow. When Aaron turned toward Miriam and saw her stricken with snow-white scales, he said to Moses, "Ah, my Lord, please do not charge us with the sin that we have foolishly committed. Do not let her be like the stillborn baby that comes forth from its mother's womb with its flesh half consumed." Then Moses cried to the Lord, "Please not this, please hear her." But the Lord answered Moses, "Suppose her father had spit in her face, would she not bear her shame for 7 days? Let her be confined outside the camp for 7 days. Afterwards she may be brought back." So Miriam was confined outside the camp for 7 days, and the people did not start out again until she was brought back. After that, the people set out from the Hazaros and encamped in the wilderness of the Parans. Numbers chapter 13, the 12 scouts. The Lord said to Moses, "Send the men of the Lycaonians, the land of the Canaan, which I am giving the Israelites. You shall send one man from each ancestral tribe, everyone a leader among them." So Moses sent them from the wilderness of the Paran. At the direction of the Lord, all of them was a leader among the Israelites. These were their names: from the tribe of the Reuben, Shammua, son of the Zachor; from the tribe of the Simeon, Shaphat, son of the Hori; from the tribe of the Judah, Caleb, son of the Jephunneh; from the tribe of the Issachar, Igal; from the Josephite; from the tribe of the Ephraim, Hosea, son of Nun; from the tribe of the Benjamin, Palti, son of the Laphrus; from the tribe of the Zebulun, Gediel, son of the Sodi; from the Josephite; from the tribe of the Manasseh, Gadi, son of Susi; from the tribe of the Dan, Amiel, son of the Gemales; from the tribe of the Asher, Sechur, son of the Mikael; from the tribe of the Naphtali, Nahbi, son of the Vopshi; from the tribe of the Gad, Guel, son of the Machir. These are the names of the men whom Moses sent to reconnoiter the land, but Hosea, son of Nun, Moses called Joshua. In sending them to the Iconium, the land of the Canaan, Moses said to them, "Go up there in the Negev, up into the highlands, and see what kind of land it is, and whatever the people living there are strong or weak, few or many. In the country in which they live, good or bad, are the towns in which they dwell open or fortified. In the soil fertile and barren, wooded or clear, and do your best to go get some of the fruit of the land." It was then the season for early grapes. So they went and reconnoitered the land from the wilderness of the Zin as far as the Rehob adjoining river Hamas. Going up by way of the Negev, they reached the Hebron, where Imran the Sheshai and the Talmai, descendant of the Anakims, ruled. Now Hebron had been built 7 years before Joan in Egypt. They also reached the Wadi Achor, where they cut down the branch with a single crust of the grapes on it, which the two of them carried on poles, as well as some pomegranate and figs. It was because of the cross the Israelites cut there that they called the place Wadi Achor, their rapport. They returned from the reconnoitering the land 40 days later, proceeding direct to the Moses and Aaron and the whole community of the Israelites in the wilderness of the Paran at the Kadesh. They made a report to them and to the whole community, showing them the fruit of the land. They told Moses, "We came to the land to the which you sent us. It does indeed flow with the milk and honey, and here is its fruit. However, the people who are living in the land are powerful, and the towns are fortified and very large. Besides, we saw descent of the Anakim there. Amalekites live in the region of the Negev, Hittite, the Jebusite, and the Amorite dwell in the highlands, and the Canaanite along the sea and the banks of the Jordan. Caleb, however, quieted the people before Moses and said, "We ought to go up and seize the land, for we can certainly prevail over it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We cannot attack these people, they are too strong for us." They spread discouraging reports among the Israelites about the land they had reconnoitered, saying, "The land that we went through and reconnoitered is a land that consumed its inhabitants, and all the people we saw there are huge. There we saw the Nephilim, the Anakim are from the Nephilims. In our own eyes, we seemed like mere grasshoppers, and so we must have seemed to them." Numbers chapter 14, Threat of the Revolt. At this, the whole community broke out with loud cries, and the people wept into the night. All the Israelites grumbled against Moses and Aaron, the whole community saying to them, "If only we had died in the land of Egypt, or if only we would die here in the wilderness. Why is the Lord bring us into this land only to have us fall by the sword? Our wives and the little ones will be taken as spoil. Would it not be better for us to return to Egypt?" So they said to one another, "Let us appoint a leader and go back to Egypt." But Moses and Aaron fell prostrate before the whole assembled community of the Israelites. While Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of the Jephunneh, who had been among those that reconnoitered the land, tore their garments, and said to the whole community of the Israelites, "The land which we went through and reconnoitered is an exceedingly good land. If the Lord is pleased with us, He will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which flows with milk and honey. Only do not rebel against the Lord. You need not be afraid of the people of the land, for they are but food for us. Their protection has left them, but the Lord is with us. Do not fear them." The Lord's sentence. The whole community threatened to stone them, but the glory of the Lord appeared at the tent of the meeting to all the Israelites. And the Lord said to Moses, "How long will these people spurn me? How long will they not trust me, despite all the signs I have performed among them? I will strike them with a pestilence and disown them. Then I will make of you a nation great and mightier than they." But Moses said to the Lord, "The Egyptian will hear of this, for by your power you brought out these people from among them. They'll tell the inhabitants of this land who have heard that you, Lord, are in the midst of this people, you, Lord, who directly revealed yourself. Your cloud stands over them, and you go before them by day in column of the cloud, and by night in the column of the fire. If now you slay this whole people, the nation who have heard such reports of you will say, 'The Lord was not able to bring these people into the land He swore to give them. That is why He slaughtered them in the wilderness.' Now then may my Lord the forbearance be great, even as you have said. The Lord is slow to anger and abound in kindness, forgiving iniquity and rebellion, yet certainly not declaring the guiltless, but punishing children to the third and the fourth generation for their parents' iniquities. Pardon then the iniquity of these people in keeping with your great kindness, even as you have forgiven them from Egypt until now." The Lord answered, "I pardon them as you have asked. Yet by my life and the Lord's glory that fills the whole earth, of all the people who have seen my glory and the sign I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and who nevertheless have put me to the test 10 times already and have not obeyed me, Not one shall see the land which I promised on earth to their ancestors. None of those who have spurned me shall see it. But as for my servant Caleb, because he has a different spirit and follows me unreservedly, I'll bring him into the land which he entered, and his descendants shall possess it. But now, since the Amalekite and the Canaanite are living in the valleys, turn away tomorrow and set out into the wilderness by way of the Red Sea road. The Lord also to Moses and Aaron, how long will this wicked community grumble against me? I've heard the grumbling of the Israelites against me. Tell them by my life, oracle of the Lord, I will do to you just what I have heard you say. Here in the wilderness your dead bodies shall fall, all your men of the 20 years or more enrolled in your registration, who grumbled against me. Not one of you shall enter the land where I solemnly swore to settle you, except Caleb son of the Jephunneh and Joshua son of Nun. Your little ones, however, who you said would be taken as spoil, I'll bring in, and they shall know the land you rejected. But as for you, your bodies shall fall here in the wilderness, while your children will wander for 40 years, suffering for your infidelity, till the last of your lives dead in the wilderness. Corresponding to the number of the days you spend reconnoitering the land, 40 days, you shall bear your punishment 1 year for each day. 40 years, thus you will realize what it means to oppose me. The Lord has spoken, and I will surely do this to this entire wicked community that conspired against me. Here in the wilderness they shall come to their end, and there they will die. And the man whom Moses had sent to reconnoiter the land, and who on returning had set the whole community grumbling against him by spreading discouraging reports about the land. This man who had spread discouraging reports about the land was struck down by the Lord and died. Only Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of the Jephunneh survived of all the men who had gone to reconnoiter the land. Unsuccessful invasions. When Moses repeated these words to all the Israelites, the people mourned greatly. Early next morning they started high into the hill country, saying, Here we are, ready to go up to the place that the Lord spoke of, for we did wrong. But Moses said, Why are you now transgressing the Lord's order? This cannot succeed. Do not go up, because the Lord is not in your midst. Do not allow yourself to be struck down by your enemies. For there the Amalekite and the Canaanite will face you, and you will fall by the sword. You have turned back from following the Lord. Therefore the Lord will not be with you. Yet they dared to go high into the hill country, even though neither the ark of the covenant of the Lord nor Moses left the camp. And the Amalekite and the Canaanite who dwelt in that hill country came down and defeated them, beating them back as far as Hormah. Numbers chapter 15, secondary offering. The Lord spoke to Moses, Speak to Israelites and say to them, When you enter the land I am giving you for your settlement, if you make the Lord an oblation from the herd or from the flock, either a burnt offering or a sacrifice, to fulfill a vow or as a voluntary offering, or for one of your festivals to produce the pleasing aroma for the Lord. The one presenting the offering shall also present to the Lord a grain offering, a tenth of the measure of grain flour mixed with the fourth of a hin of the oils, as well as wine for libation, a fourth of the hin. You will do this with the burnt offering or sacrifice for each lamb. Alternatively, for a lamb, for you shall make a grain offering of the 2/10 of the measure of the brown flour mixed with a third of the hin of the oils, and for a libation of a third of the hin of the wine, thereby presenting a pleasing aroma to the Lord. If you make an offering from the herd, either burnt offering or sacrifice to fulfill a vow, or as a communion offering to the Lord, with it a grain offering of the 3/10 of the measure of the brown flour mixed with the half a hin of the oil will be presented. And you will present for libation half of the hin of the wine, a sweet smelling oblation to the Lord. The same is to done for each ox, lamb of the goat. Whatever the number you offer, do the same for each of them. All the native born shall make this offering in this way whenever they present a sweet-smelling oblation to the Lord. Likewise, in any future generation, any alien residing with you or anyone else in your midst, who present an oblation of the pleasing aroma to the Lord must do as you do. There is but one statute for you and for the resident alien, a perpetual statute throughout your generations. You and the resident alien will be alike before the Lord. You and alien residing with you will have the same rule and the same application of it. The Lord spoke to Moses. Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land into which I am bringing you, and eat up the bread of the land, you shall offer the Lord contributions. Consisting of the cake of your first batch of the dough, you shall offer it just as you offer a contribution from the threshing floors. Around the loaf from your first batch of the dough, you shall offer as a contribution, just like a contribution from the threshing floor, you shall offer it. Purification offerings. If through inadvertence you fail to do any of these commandments which the Lord has given to Moses, anything the Lord commanded you through Moses from the time the Lord first gave the command down through your generation. If it was done inadvertently without the community knowledge, the whole community shall sacrifice one bull from the herd as a burnt offering of the pleasing aroma to the Lord, along with its prescribed grain offering and the libation, as well as one he goat as purification offerings. Then the priest shall make atonement for the whole Israelite community, and they will be forgiven, since it was inadvertence. And for their inadvertence they have brought their offering in oblation to the Lord, as well as their purification offering before the Lord. Not only the whole Israelite community, but also the alien residing among you shall be forgiven, since the inadvertent fault affect all the peoples. If it is an individual who sins inadvertently, this person shall bring a yearling she-goat as a purification offerings. And the priest shall make atonement before the Lord for the one who errs. Since the sin was inadvertent, making atonement for the person to secure forgiveness. You shall have but one rule for the person who sins inadvertently, whether a native-born Israelite or alien residing among you. But anyone who acted defiantly, whether a native or an alien, reviled the Lord and shall be cut out from among the peoples. For having despised the rule of the Lord and broken his commandment, he must be cut off entirely and bear the punishment. The Sabbath breakers. While the Israelites were in the wilderness, a man was discovered gathering wood on the Sabbath day. Those who caught him at it brought him to the Moses and Aaron and the whole communities. But they put him in the custody, for there was no clear decision as to what should be done with him. Then the Lord said to Moses, This man shall be put to death, let the whole community stone him outside the camp. So the whole community led him outside the camp and stoned him to death as the Lord had commanded Moses. Tassels on the clocks. The Lord said to Moses, Speak to Israelites and tell them that throughout their generation they are to make tassels for the corner of their garments, fastening a violet cord to each corner. When you see these tassels, the sight of the cord will remind you of all the commandments of the Lord, and you will do them without prostituting yourself or going after the desires of your heart and your eyes. Thus you will remember to do all my commandments, and you will be holy to your God. I, the Lord, am your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I, the Lord, your God. Numbers chapter 16, Rebellion of the Korah. Korah, son of the Israel, son of the Kohath, son of the Levi, and the Reubenite Dathan, and Abiram, son of the Eliab, and On, son of the Perez, son of the Reuben, took 250 Israelites who were leaders in the community, members of the council and the men of the north, and confronted Moses. Holding an assembly against Moses and Aaron, they said, You go to Pharaoh, the whole community, all of them are holy. The Lord is in the midst. Why then should you set yourselves over the Lord's assemblies? When Moses heard this, he fell prostrate. Then he said to Korah and to all his faction, May the Lord make known tomorrow morning who belong to him and who is the Holy One, and whom he will have draw near to him. The one whom he chooses, he will have draw near to him. Do this, take your censers, Korah and all his factions, and put a fire in them and place incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. He whom the Lord then chooses is the holy ones. You Levite go to Pharaoh. Moses also said to Korah, Hear now, you Levite. Are you not satisfied that the God of Israel has singled you out from the community of the Israel to have you draw near him to maintain the Lord's tabernacles, and to attend upon the community and to serve them? He has allowed you and your Levite kinsmen with you to approach him, and yet you seek the priesthood too. It is therefore against the Lord that you and all your faction are conspiring. As for the Aaron, what has he done that you should grumble against him? Rebellion of the Dathan and the Abirams. Moses summoned Dathan and Abiram, sons of the Eliab, but they answered, We will not go. Are you not satisfied that you have brought us here from a land flowing with milk and honey to have us perish in the wilderness? Then now you must also lord it over us. Far from bringing us to a land flowing with the milk and honey, or giving us a field and a vineyard for our inheritance, will you gouge out our eyes? No, we will not go. Then Moses became very angry and said to the Lord, Pay no attention to their offerings. I have never taken a single donkey from them, nor have I wronged any one of them. Korah. Moses said to Korah, You and all your factions shall appear before the Lord tomorrow, you and they and Aaron too. Then each of you take his own censer, put incense in it, and present it before the Lord 250 censers, and you and Aaron, each with its own censers, do the same. So they all took their censers and rained incense on the fire they had put in them. They took their stand by the entrance of the meeting tent along with Moses and Aaron. Then when Korah had assembled all the community against them at the entrance of the tent of the meeting, the glory of the Lord appeared to the entire community. And the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, Stand apart from this community, that I may consume them at once. But they fell prostrate and exclaimed, O God, God of the Spirit of the all-living Creator, if one man sins, will you be angry with the whole community? The Lord answered Moses, Speak to the community and tell them, withdraw from the area around the tent of the Korah, Dathan, and the Abirams. Punishment of the Dathan and the Abirams. Moses, followed by the elder of the Israel, arose and went to Dathan and the Abirams. Then he spoke to the community, Move away from the tent of these wicked men, and do not touch anything that is theirs. Otherwise you too will be swept away because of all their sins. So they withdrew from the area around the tents of the Korah, Dathan and the Abiram. When Dathan and the Abiram had come out and were standing at the entrance of their tents with their wives, their children, and their little ones, Moses said, This is how you shall allow that the Lord send me to do all I have done, and that it was not of my own devising. If this die an ordinary death, merely suffering the fate common to all humanities, the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord make a chasm, and the ground opens its mouth and swallows them with all that belong to them, and they go down alive to Sheol, then you will know that this man have spurned the Lord. No sooner had he finished saying all this than the ground beneath them split open, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them and their family and all of the Korah's people with all their possessions. They went down alive to Sheol with all belonging to them. The earth closed over them, and they disappeared from the assemblies. But all the Israelites near them fled at their shipwrecks, saying, The earth might swallow us too. Punishment of the Korah. And the fire from the Lord came forth, which consumed the 250 men who were offering the incense. Numbers chapter 17. The Lord said to Moses, Tell Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, to remove the censer from the embers, and scale the fire some distance away, for they have become holy. The sons of those who sinned at the cost of their lives, have them hammered into a plate to cover the altar, because in being presented before the Lord they have become holy. In this way they shall serve as a sign to the Israelites. So taking the bronze censers which had been presented by those who were burned, Eleazar the priest had them hammered into a covering for the altars. Just as the Lord had directed him through Moses, this was to be a reminder to the Israelites that no unauthorized person, no one who was not descendant of Aaron, should draw near to offer incense before the Lord, lest he meet the fate of the Korah and his factions. The next day the whole Israelite community grumbled against Moses and Aaron, saying, You have killed the people of the Lord. But while the community was assembling against them, Moses and Aaron turned toward the tent of the meeting, and the cloud now covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. Then Moses and Aaron came to the front of the tent of the meeting, and the Lord said to Moses, Remove yourself from the community, that I may consume them at once. But they fell prostrate. Then Moses said to Aaron, Take your censer, put fire from the altar in it, lay incense on it, and bring it quickly to the community to make atonement for them. For wrath has come forth from the Lord, and the plague has begun. Aaron took his censer just as Moses directed, and ran in among the assemblies, where the plague had already begun among the peoples. Then he offered the incense and made the atonement for the peoples, while standing there between the living and the dead, and so the scourge was checked. There were 14,700 dead from the scourge, in addition to those who died because of the Korah. When the scourge had been checked, Aaron returned to Moses at the entrance of the tent of the meetings. Aaron's step. The Lord now said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and get from them the step for each ancestral house, 12 steps in order from all the reed of the ancestral houses. Write each man's name on his step, and write Aaron's name on the Levi's step, for each head of the ancestral house shall have a step. Then deposit them in the tent of the meeting in front of the covenant where I meet you. The step of the man whom I choose shall sprout. Thus I rid myself of the Israelites grumbling against you." So Moses spoke to the Israelites, and all their leaders gave him steps, 12 in all, one from each reed of their ancestral houses, and Aaron's step was among them. Then Moses deposited the staff before the Lord in the tent of the covenant. The next day, when Moses entered the tent of the meeting covenant, Aaron's staff, representing the house of the Levi, had sprouted. It had put forth a sprout, produced the blossom, and borne ripe almonds. So Moses brought out all the staff from the Lord, presented to the older Israelites, and each one identified his own staff and took it. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Put back Aaron's staff in front of the covenant, for safekeeping is assigned to the rebellious, so that they grumbling against me may cease and they might not die." Moses did this just as the Lord had commanded him, so he did. Charge of the sacred things. Then the Israelites exclaimed to Moses, "We will perish, we are lost, we are all lost. Anyone who approaches the tabernacle of the Lord will die. Will there be no end to our perishing?" Numbers chapter 18. The Lord said to Aaron, "You and your son, as well as your ancestral house with you, shall be responsible for any sin with respect to the sanctuaries. But only you and your son with you shall be responsible for any sin with respect to your priesthood. You shall also present with you your kinsmen of the tribe of the Levi, your ancestral tribe, that they may be joined to you and assist you, while you and your son with you are in front of the tent of the covenant. They shall discharge your obligation and those with respect to the whole tent. However, they shall not come near the utensil of the sanctuary or the altar, or else both they and you will die. They will join to you to perform the duties associated with the tent of the meeting, or the labor pertaining to the tent. But no unauthorized person shall come near you. You shall perform the duty of the sanctuary and of the altar, that rest may not fall again upon the Israelites. I hereby take your kinsmen, the Levites, from among the Israelites. They are a gift to you, dedicated to the Lord for the labor they perform for tent of the meeting. But you and your sons with you must take care to exercise your priesthood in whatever concerns the altar and the area within the veil. I give you your priesthood as a gift. Any unauthorized person who comes near shall be put to death. The priest share of the sacrifice. The Lord said to Aaron, "I hereby give to you charge of the contribution made to me, including the various holy offerings of the Israelites. I assign them to you and to your sons as a perquisite, a perpetual due. This is what you shall have from the oblations that are most holy, every offering of theirs, namely all their grain offerings, purification offering, and the reparation offering, which they must return to me, shall be most holy for you and for your sons. You shall eat them in the most holy place. Every man may partake of them as holy, they belong to you. This also you shall have the contribution that they give, including the elevated offering of the Israelite. I assign them to you and to your son and daughters with you as a perpetual due. All in your household who are clean may eat them. I assign to you all the best of the new oil and of the new wine and the grain that they give to the Lord as their first produce that has been processed. The first reap from the fruit of the whatever is in their land which they bring to the Lord shall be yours. All of your household who are clean may eat them. Whatever is under the ban in Israel shall be yours. Every living things that opens the womb, human being and the beast alike, such as are to be offered to the Lord, shall be yours. But you must redeem the firstborn of the human beings as well as redeem the firstborn of the unclean animals. For the redemption price of the son, when he is a month old, you shall pay the equivalent of 5 silver shekels according to the sanctuary shekels, that is 20 gerahs. But the firstborn of the cattle, on the firstborn of the sheep, or firstborn of the goat, you shall not redeem. They are holy. Their blood you must spread on the altar, and their fat you must burn as an oblation of pleasing aroma to the Lord. Their meat, however, shall be yours, just as the priest kicked out the elevated offering and the right thigh belong to you. As a perpetual due, I assign to you and to your son and the daughters with you all the contribution of the holy things which the Israelites set aside for the Lord. This is the covenant of the salt to last forever before the Lord, for you and for your descendants with you. Then the Lord said to Aaron, you shall not have any heritage in their land, nor hold any portion among them. I'll be your portion and your heritage among the Israelites. Tithe due the Levite. To the Levite, however, I hereby assign all tithe in Israel as their heritage in the recompense for the labor they performs, the labor pertaining to the tent of the meetings. The Israelites may no longer approach the tent of the meeting, thereby incurring the penalty of the death. Only the Levites are to perform the labor pertaining to the tent of the meeting, and they shall incur the penalty for the Israelites' sin. This is a permanent statute for all your generations, but they shall not have any heritage among the Israelites. For I have assigned to the Levite as their heritage the tithe which the Israelites put aside as a contribution to the Lord. That is why I have said they will not have any heritage among the Israelites. Tithe paid by the Levite. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the Levite and say to them, when do you take from the Israelites the tithe I have assigned to you from them as your heritage? You are to make a contribution from them to the Lord, a tithe of the tithe. And your contribution will be credited to you as if it were grain from the threshing floor or new wine from the vat. Thus you too shall make a contribution to the Lord from all the tithe you take from the Israelites, handing over to Aaron the priest the contribution to the Lord. From all the gift to you, you shall make every contribution due to the Lord from the best part, that is the part to be consecrated from them. Say to them also, once you have made your contribution from the best part, the rest of the tithe will be credited to the Levite as if it were produce of the threshing floor or the produce of the fat. You and your household may eat it anywhere, since it is your recompense in exchange for labor in the tent of the meeting. You will incur no punishment when you contribute the best part of it, but do not profane the holy offering of the Israelites, or else you shall die. Numbers chapter 19, Ashes of the red heifer. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, "This is statute for the ritual which the Lord has commanded. Tell the Israelites to procure for you a red heifer without defect, and free from every blemish, and on which no yoke has ever been laid. You will give it to the Elizabeth the priest, and it will be led outside the camp and slaughtered in his presence. Elizabeth the priest will take some of its blood on his finger and sprinkle it 7 times toward the front of the tent of the meeting. Then the heifer will be burned in its side. It will be burned with its hide and flesh, its blood and dung. And the priest will take the cedar wood, the hyssop, and the scarlet yarn and throw them into the fire in which the heifer is being burned. The priest shall then wash his garment and bathe his body in waters. Afterward he may enter the camp. The priest remain unclean until the evening. Likewise, the one who burned the heifer shall wash his garment in waters, bathe his body in water, and be unclean until evening. Then somebody who is clean shall gather up the ashes of the heifer and deposit them in a clean place outside the camp. There they are to kept to the prepared purification water for the Israelite community. This is a purification offering. The one who has gathered up the ashes of the heifer shall also wash his garment and be unclean until evening. This is a permanent statute both for the Israelites and for the alien residing among them. Use of the ashes. Those who touch the corpse of any human being will be unclean for 7 days. They shall purify themselves with the water on the 3rd and on the 7th days, and then be cleansed. But if they fail to purify themselves on the 3rd and on the 7th day, they will not become clean. Those who touch the corpse of the human being who dies and who fail to purify themselves defile the tabernacle of the Lord, and this person shall be cut out from Israel. Since the purification water has not been spread over them, they remain unclean. Their uncleanness is still on them. This is the ritual when someone dies in a tent. Everyone who entered the tent, as well as everyone already in it, will be unclean for 7 days. And every open vessel with its lid unfastened will be uncleansed. Moreover, everyone who in the open country touches a person who has been slain by the sword, or who has died naturally, or who touched a human bone or a grave, will be unclean for 7 days. For anyone who is thus unclean, ashes shall be taken from the burnt purification offering, and spring water will be poured on them from a vessel. Then someone who is clean will take a hyssop, dip it in this water, and sprinkle it on the tent, on the honor, on the vessel, and the person that were in it, or on the one who touched the bone, the slain person, or the other corpse, or the grave. The clean will sprinkle the unclean on the 3rd and on the 7th day, and thus purify them on the 7th day. Then they will wash their garment and bathe in the water, and in evening be cleansed. Those who become unclean and fail to purify themselves, those people will be cut out from the assembly, because they defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. The purification water has not been splashed over them. They remain unclean. This will be a permanent statute for you. Those who sprinkle the purification water will wash their garment, and those who come in contact with the purification water will be unclean until evening. Moreover, anything that the unclean person touches becomes unclean itself, and the one who touches such a person becomes unclean until evening. Numbers chapter 20, Death of the Miriam. The Israelites, the whole community, arrived in the wilderness of the Zin in the 1st month, and the people stayed at the Kadesh. It was here that Miriam died, and here that she was buried. Need for water at the Kadesh. Since the community had no water, they held the assembly against Moses and Aaron. The people called with Moses, exclaiming, Would that you have perished when our kindred perished before the Lord. Why have brought the Lord assembly into the wilderness for us and our livestock to die here? Why have you brought us up out of Egypt only to bring us to this wretched place? It is not place for grain, nor figs, nor vines, nor pomegranate, and there is no water to drink. But Moses and Aaron went away from the assembly to the entrance of the tent of the meeting, where they fell prostrate. Then the glory of the Lord appeared to them, seen of the Moses and Aaron. And the Lord said to Moses, take the step and assemble the community, you and Aaron your brother, and in their presence command the rock to air its waters. Thereby you will bring forth water from the rock for them, and supply the community and their livestock with waters. So Moses took the staff from its place before the Lord as he was ordered. Then Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly in front of the rock, where he said to them, just listen, you rebels. Are we to produce water for you out of these rocks? Then raising his hand, Moses struck the rock twice with his staff, and water came out in abundance, and the community and their livestock drank. But the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, because you did not have confidence in me, to acknowledge my holiness before the Israelites, therefore you shall not lead this assembly into the land I have given them. These are the words of the Meribah, where the Israelites quarreled with the Lord, and through which he displayed his holiness, Edom's refusers. From Kadesh, Moses sent a messenger to the king of the Edom. Thus said your brother Israel, you know of all the hardship that have befallen us. How our ancestors went down to Egypt, and we stayed in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians treated us and our ancestors harshly. When he cried to the Lord, he heard our cry and sent the angel who led us out of Egypt. Now here we are at Kadesh, a town at the edge of your territories. Please let us pass through your land. You will not cross any fields and vineyards, nor drink any well waters, but we will go straight along the king's highway without turning to the right or to the left, until you have passed through your territories. But Edom answered him, you shall not pass through here. If you do, I'll advance against you with the sword. The Israelites said to him, we will go up along the highway. If we or our livestock drink any of your waters, we'll pay for it. It is nothing. Just let us pass through on foot. But Edom replied, you shall not pass through, and advanced against them with the rod and the heavily armed force. Therefore, since Edom refused to let Israel pass through their territory, Israel turned away from them. Death of the arrows. Setting out from the Kadesh, the Israelites, the whole community came to Mount Hor. There at Mount Hor, on the border of the land of the Edom, the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, let Aaron be gathered to his people, for he shall not enter the land I have given to the Israelites, because you both rebelled against your direction at the word of the Meribah. Take Aaron and Eleazar his son and bring them up on Mount Hor. Then strip Aaron of his garment and put them on Eleazar his son, but there Aaron shall be gathered up in death. Moses did as the Lord commanded when they had climbed Mount Hor in view of the whole communities. Moses stripped Aaron of his garment and put them on Eleazar his son. Then Aaron died there on top of the mountains. When Moses and Eleazar came down from the mountains, all the community understood that Aaron had breathed his last, and for 30 days the whole house of Israel mourned Aaron. Numbers chapter 21, Victory over Arad. When the Canaanite, the king of the Arad, who ruled over the Negev, heard that the Israelites were coming along the way of the Adarims, he engaged Israel in battle and took some of them captives. Israel then made this vow to the Lord: if you deliver these people into my hand, I will put their cities under the ban. The Lord paid attention to Israel and delivered up the Canaanites, and they put them and their city under the ban. Hence, that place was named the Hormaz, the bronze serpent. From Mount Hor they set out by way of the Red Sea to bypass the land of the Edom, but the people's patience was worn out by the journey. So the people complained against God and Moses: why have you brought us up from Egypt to die in the wilderness, where there is no food or water? We are disgusted with this wretched food. So the Lord sent among the people Seraph, a serpent, which bit the people so that many of the Israelites died. Then the people came to Moses and said, we have sinned in complaining against the Lord, and you pray to the Lord to take the serpent from us. So Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said to Moses, make a seraph and mount it on the pole, and everyone who has been bitten will look at it and recovers. Accordingly, Moses made the bronze serpent and mounted it on poles, and whenever the serpent bit someone, the person looked at the bronze serpent and recovered. Journey around Moab. The Israelites moved on and encamped in the Obos. Then they moved on from Obos and encamped in the Re-Abraim in the wilderness facing Moab on the east. Moving on from there, they encamped in the Wadi Zerat. Moving on from there, they encamped on the other side of the Arnons in the wilderness that extend from the territory of the Amorites. For the Arnon forms Moab boundary between Moab and the Amorites. Hence it is said in the book of the words of the Lord, what happened in the Subhar and the Wadis. Arnon and the Wadi gorges that reach back toward the side of the Ar and lean against the border of the Moabs. From there they went to the Beer, which is the well of which the Lord said to Moses, gather the people together so that I may give them waters. Then Israel sang this song, Spring of Oel, so sing to it. The well that princes sang, that the noble of the people dug with their scepter and their staffs from the wilderness a gift. From Beer to Nahaliel, from the Nahaliel to Mamos, from Mamos to the valley in the country of the Moab and the land of the Pisgah that overlooks Jeshimon, a victory over Sihon. Now Israel sent the messenger to Sihon, king of the Amorites, with the message, let us pass through your land. We do not turn aside into any field and the vineyards, nor we drink anywhere word, but we'll go straight along the king's highway until we have passed through your territories. Sihon, however, would not permit Israel to pass through his territory, but mustered all his forces and advanced against Israel into the wilderness. When he reached the Jahaz, he engaged Israel in battles. But Israel put him to the sword and took possession of his land from the Arnon to the Jabbok, and as far as Zazor of the Ammonite. For Zazor is the boundary of the Ammonite. Israel seized all the towns here, and Israel settled in all the towns of the Amorites, in the Heshbon and all its dependencies. For Heshbon was the city of the Sihon, king of the Amorite, who had fought against the former king of the Moab and had taken all his land from him as far as the Arnos. That is why the poet says, "Come to Heshbon, let it be rebuilt, let Sion city be firmly constructed." For fire went forth from Heshbon and the blaze from the city of the Sihon. It consumed the Ar of the Moab and swallowed up the high places of the Arnos. What to you, Moab? You are the normal people of the Chemosh. He let his sons become fugitives and his daughters be taken captive by the Amorite king Sihon. From Heshbon to the Dibon, their dominion is no more. Ar is laid waste, the fires blaze as far as Medeba. So Israel settled in the land of the Amorites. Moses sent the spies to the Zazor, and Israel captured it with its dependents and dispossessed the Amorites who were there. A victory over Ox. Then they turned and went up along the road to Bashan, but Og, king of the Bashan, advanced against them with all his forces to give battle at the Edrei. The Lord, however, said to Moses, "Do not fear him, for into your hand I deliver him with all his forces and his land. You will do to him as you did to Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon." So they struck him down with his son and all his forces until not a survivor was left to him, and they took possession of his land. Numbers chapter 22. Then the Israelites moved on and encamped in the plain of the Moab on the other side of the Jordan opposite the Jericho. Balaam summoned. Though Balak son of the Zippor saw all that Israel did to Amorites, and the Moab feared the Israelites greatly because they were numerous, Moab was in dread of the Israelites. So Moab said to elder of the Midian, "Now this brood will devour everything around us, and an ox devours the grass of the field." At that time Balak son of the Zippor was king of the Moab. And he sent a messenger to Balaam son of the Beor at the Pithro on the river in the land of the Ammonites, to summon him with these words: "A people was come out of Egypt. They have covered up the earth and are sitting down opposite me. Now come curse these people for me, since they are stronger than I am. Perhaps I may be able to defeat them and drive them out of the land. For I know that whoever you bless is blessed, and whoever you curse is cursed." So the elder of the Moab and the elder of the Midian themselves, expert in divinations, left and went to Balaam, to whom they gave Balak messages. He said to them, "Stay here overnight, and I will give you whatever answer the Lord gives me." So the prince of the Moab lodged with Balaam. Then God came to Balaam and said, "Who are these men with you?" Balaam answered God, "Balak, son of the Zippor, king of the Moab, sent me the message. This people that has come out of Egypt has covered up the earth. Now come and lay a curse on them for me. Perhaps I may be able to fight them and drive them out." But God said to Balaam, "Do not go with them and do not curse these people, for they are blessed." The next morning Balaam arose and told the prince of the Balak, "Go back to your own country, for the Lord has refused to let me go with you." So the prince of the Moab went back to the Balak with the report, "Balaam refused to come with us." Second appeal to Balaam. Balak went again sent princes who were more numerous and more distinguished than the others. On coming to Balaam, they told them, "Thus say Balak, son of the Zippor, please do not refuse to come to me. I reward you very handsomely and will do anything you ask of me. Come, lay a curse on these people for me." But Balaam replied to Balak's servants, "Even if Balak gave me his house full of silver and gold, I could not do anything, small or great, contrary to the command of the Lord my God. But you two stay here overnight so that I may learn what else the Lord may say to me." That night God came to Balaam and said to him, "If these men have come to summon you, go back with them, yet only on the condition that you do exactly as I tell you." So the next morning when Balaam arose, he saddled his donkey and went up with the prince of the Moabs, the talking donkeys. But now God's anger flared up him for going, and the angel of the Lord took up the position on the road as his adversaries. As Balaam was riding along on his donkey, accompanied by two of his servants, the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with the sword drawn. The donkey turned off the road and went into the field, and Balaam beat the donkey to bring her back on the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow lane between a vineyard with a stone wall on each side. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord there, she pressed against the wall, and since she skids Balaam erect against the wall, he beat her again. Then the angel of the Lord again went ahead and stood next in the passage so narrow that there was no room to move either to the right or to the left. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord there, she lay down under Balaam. Balaam anger flared up, and he beat the donkey with his sticks. Then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and she asked Balaam, "What have I done to you that you beat me these 3 times? You have acted so willfully against me," said Balaam to the donkey, "that if I only had a sword at hand, I would kill you here and now." But donkey said to Balaam, "Am I not your donkey on which you have always ridden until now? Have I been in habit of treating you this way before?" "No," he replied. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes so that he saw the angel of the Lord standing on the road with the sword drawn, and he knelt and bowed down to the ground. But the angel of the Lord said to him, "Why have you beaten your donkey these 3 times? I have come as an adversary because this last journey of yours is against my will." When the donkey saw me, she turned away from me these 3 times. If she had not turned away from me, you are the one I would have killed, though I would have spared her. Then Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, "I have sinned, yet I did not know that you took a position to oppose my journeys. Since it has displeased you, I will go back home." But the angel of the Lord said to Balaam, "Go with me with the men, but you may say only what I tell you." So Balaam went on with the prince of the Balaks. When Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went out to meet him at the Moab on the border formed by the Arnos, at its most distant point. And Balak said to Balaam, "Did I send an urgent summons to you? Why did you not come to me? Did you think I could not reward you?" Balaam answered Balak, "Well, I have come to you after all, but what power have I to say anything? I can speak only what God puts in my mouth." Then Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Gilead's Huzors. Here Balak sacrificed the oxen and the sheep and sent the portion to the Balaam and to the prince who were with him, the first oracles. The next morning, Balak took Balaam up on the Bamos bar, and from there he could see some of the peoples. Numbers chapter 23. Then Balaam said to Balak, "Build me 7 altars here, and here prepare 7 bulls and 7 lambs for me." So Balak did as Balaam had ordered, and Balak and Balaam offered the bull and the lamb on each altar. Balaam said to Balak, "Stand here by your burnt offering while I go over there. Perhaps the Lord will meet me, and then I'll tell you whatever he lets me see." And so he went out on the barren heights. Then God met Balaam, and Balak said to him, "I have erected 7 altars, and have offered the bull and the lamb on each altar." The Lord put an utterance in the Balaam's mouth and said, "Go back to the Balak and speak accordingly." So we went back to the Balak, who was still standing by his burnt offering together with all the princes of the Moabs. Then Balaam recited his poem, "From Aram Balak has led me here, Moab kings from the mountain of the Kedams. Come curse for me, Jacob, come denounce Israel." How can I lay a curse on the one whom God has not cursed? How denounce the one whom the Lord has not denounced? For from top of the crag I see him, from the height I behold him. Here is a people that lives apart and does not reckon itself among the nations. Who has ever counted the dust of the Jacob, who numbered the Israel dust cloud? May I die the death of the just, may my end be like theirs. "What have you done to me?" cried Balak to Balaam. "It was to lay a curse on my foes that I brought you here, but instead you have blessed them." Balaam replied, "Is it not what the Lord put in my mouth that I take care to repeat?" The second oracle. Then Balak said to him, "Please come with me to another place from which you can see them. But you will see only some, not all of them, and from there lay a curse on them for me." So he brought him to the lookout post on the top of the Pisgah, where he built the 7 altars and offered the bull and the ram on each of them. Balaam then said to Balak, "Stand here by your burnt offering while I seek a meeting over there." Then the Lord met Balaam, and having put an utterance in his mouth, said to him, "Return to Balak and speak accordingly." So we went to Balak, who was still standing by his burnt offering together with the prince of the Moab. When Balak asked him, "What did the Lord say?" Balaam recited his poem, "Rise, Balak, and listen, give ear to my testimony, son of Zippor." God is not the human being who speaks falsely, nor a mortal who feels regret. Is God one to speak and not act, to decree and not bring it to pass? I was summoned to bless, I'll bless, I cannot revoke it. Misfortune I do not see in Jacob, nor do I see visually in Israel. The Lord their God is with them, among them is the war cry of their kings. They have the rock of the wild ox horns, God who brought them out of Egypt. Nor there is no augury against Jacob, nor divination against Israel. Now it is said of Jacob, of Israel, look what God has done. Here is a people that rise up like a lioness and gets up like a lion. It does not rest till it has devoured its prey and has drunk the blood of the slain. Neither lay a curse on them nor bless them, said Balak to Balaam. But Balaam answered Balak, "Did I not tell you everything the Lord tells me I must do?" The third oracle. Then Balak said to Balaam, "Come, let me bring you to another place. Perhaps God will approve of your laying curse on them from me from theirs." So he took Balaam to the top of the Peors that overlooks the Jeshimon. Balaam then said to Balak, "Build me 7 altar here, and here prepare for me 7 bulls and 7 rams." And Balak did as Balaam had ordered, offering a bull and a lamb on each altar. Numbers chapter 24. Balaam, however, perceiving that the Lord was pleased to bless Israel, did not go aside as before the sick omens, but turned his gaze toward the wilderness. When Balaam looked up and saw Israel encamped tribe by tribe, the Spirit of the God came upon him. And he recited his poem, the oracle of the Balaam, son of the Beor, the oracle of the man whose eyes is truth. The oracle of the one who hears what God says and knows what the Most High knows, of one who sees what the Almighty sees, in rapture and with eyes unveiled. How pleasant are your tents, Jacob, your encampment, Israel. Like a palm tree spread out, like a garden beside the river, like a aloes the Lord planted, like a cedars beside walls. Water will drip from their bucket, their seed will have plentiful walls, their king will rise higher than Agag, and their dominion will be exalted. They will like up the wild ox horns, God who brought them out of Egypt. They will devour hostile nations, break their bones and crush their loins. Crouching they lie like a lion or like a lioness, who will arouse them. Blessed are those who bless you, and cursed are those who curse you. In the blaze of the anger at the Balaam, Balak clapped his hand and said to him, "It was the tray cross on my foes that I summoned you here. Yet 3 times now you have actually blessed them. Now flee to your home. I promise to reward your retreat, but the Lord has withheld the reward from you." Balaam replied to Balak, "Did I even tell the messenger whom you sent to me? Even if Balak gave me his house full of silver and gold, I could not of my own accord do anything, good or evil, contrary to the command of the Lord. Whatever the Lord says, I must say." The false oracles. But now that I am about to go to my own people, let me warn you what this people will do to your people in the days to come. Then he recited his poem, the oracle of the Balaam, son of the Beor, the oracle of the man whose eyes is truth. The oracle of the one who hears what God says and knows the Most High knows, of one who sees what Almighty sees, in rapture and with eyes unveiled. I see him, though not now. I observe him, though not near. Israel shall advance from Jacob, and a scepter shall rise from Israel, that will crush the brows of the Moab and the skull of the old Shite. Edom will be dispossessed, and now survival is left in Seir. Israel will act borderless, and Jacob will rule his foes. Upon seeing Amalek, Balaam recited his poem. First of the nation is Amalek's, but their end is to perish forever. Upon seeing the Kenite, he recited his poem. Though your dwelling is safe and your nest is set on cliffs, yet kind will be destroyed when Ashur takes you captives. Upon seeing the Ishmaelite, he recited his poem, Alas, who shall survive of the Ishmael, to deliver them from the hands of the Kittims, when they have conquered the Ashur and conquered the Hebrews. They too shall perish forever. Then Balaam set out on his journey home, and Balak also went his way. Numbers chapter 25. Worship of Baal of the Beors. While Israel was living at the Shittim, the people profaned themselves by prostituting themselves with the Moabite women. This then invited the people to the sacrifice of their god, and the people ate of the sacrifice and bowed down to their god. Israel thereby attached itself to the Baal of the Peor, and the Lord's anger flamed up against Israel. The Lord said to Moses, "Gather all the leaders of the people and publicly execute them before the Lord, that the blazing wrath of the Lord may turn away from Israel." So Moses told the Israelite judges, each of you kill those of his men who have attached themselves to the Baal of the Peor, Jil of the Phinehas. At this, a certain Israelite came and brought in Midianite woman to his kindred in the view of the Moses and of the whole Israelite communities, while they were weeping at the entrance of the tent of the meetings. When Phinehas, son of the Eleazar, son of the Aaron the priest, saw this, he rose up from the assembly and, taking spear in his hand, followed the Israelite into the tent, where he pierced the two of them, the Israelite and the woman. Thus the plague upon the Israelite was checked. But the dead from the plague were 24,000. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Phinehas, son of the Eleazar, son of the Aaron the priest, has turned my anger from the Israelite by his being as jealous among them as I am. That is why I did not put an end to the Israelite in my jealousies. Announce therefore that I hereby give him my covenant of peace, which shall be for him and for his descendant after him, the covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous on behalf of his God and thus made expiation for the Israelites." The name of the slain Israelite, the one slain with the Midianite woman, was Zimri, son of the Salu, prince of the Simonite, the ancestral house. The name of the slain Midianite woman was Cosbi, daughter of the Zur, who was head of the clan, an ancestral house in Midian. Vengeance on the Midianite. The Lord then said to Moses, "Treat the Midianites as enemies and strike them, for they have been your enemies by the deceitful dealing they had with you regarding Peor and their kinswoman Cosbi, the daughter of the Midianite prince, who was slain at the time of the plague because of Peor, the second census after the plague." Numbers chapter 26. The Lord said to Moses and Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, "Take a census by ancestral houses throughout the community of the Israelites, of all those of the 20 years or more, who are eligible for military service in Israel." So on the plain of the Moab, along the Jordan of the Jericho, Moses and Eleazar the priest enrolled them. Those of the 20 years or more are as the Lord has commanded Moses. The Israelites who came out of the land of Egypt were as follows: Reuben, the firstborn of the Israelites, the descendant of the Reuben by their clan were through Hanok, the clan of the Hanochite, through Palu, the clan of the Paluite, through Hezron, the clan of the Hezronite, through Camnis, the clan of the Camite. These were the clan of the Reubenite, and those enrolled numbered 43,730. From Palu descended Eliab. The sons of the Eliab was Namuel, Dathan, and Abiram. The same Dathan and Abiram, once designated by the community, who contended with Moses and Aaron as part of the Korah faction when they contended with the Lord. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed them along with the Korah as a warning. The faction was destroyed when the fire consumed 250 men. The descendants of the Korah, however, did not die out. The descendants of the Simon by clans were through Nemuel, the clan of the Nemurite, through Jamin, the clan of the Jaminite, through Jachin, the clan of the Jachinite, through Zerah, the clan of the Zerahite, through Shaul, the clan of the Shaulite. These were the clan of the Shimonite, 22,200. The descendants of the Gad by clans were through Jephon, the clan of the Jephonite, through Haggith, the clan of the Haggite, through Shuni, the clan of the Shunite, through Ozni, the clan of the Ozinite, through Eri, the clan of the Erite, through Arod, the clan of the Arodite, through Alaris, the clan of the Alalite. These were the clan of the descendants of the Gad, of whom there were enrolled 40,500. The sons of the Judah were Er and Onan. Er is Onan died in the land of the Canaanites. The descendants of the Judah by the clan were through Salah, the clan of the Salahite, through Perez, the clan of the Perizite, through Zerah, the clan of the Zerahite. The descendants of the Perez were through Hezron, the clan of the Hezronite, through Hamuel, the clan of the Hamulite. These were the clan of the Judah, of whom there was enrolled 76,500. The descendants of the Issachar by the clan of were through Tola, the clan of the Tolaites, through Purva, the clan of the Purvahite, through Jashub, the clan of the Jashubite, through Shimron, the clan of the Shimronite. These were the clan of the Issachar, of whom there was enrolled 64,300. The descendants of the Zebulun by their clan were through Sarad, the clan of the Saradite, through Elon, the clan of the Elonite, through Jairus, the clan of the Jairite. These were the clan of the Zebulunite, of whom there were enrolled 60,500. The sons of the Joseph were Manasseh and Ephraim. The descendants of the Manasseh by clan were through Machor, the clan of the Machorite. Now Machor begat Gilead through Gilead, the clan of the Gileadite. The descendants of the Gilead were through Rezor, the clan of the Rezorite, through Halak, the clan of the Halakite, through Azariah, the clan of the Azarielite, through Shechem, the clan of the Shechemite, through Shemidah, the clan of the Shemidite, through Hefer, the clan of the Heferite. As for the Zelophehad, the son of the Hefer, he had no sons but only daughters. The name of the daughter of the Zelophehad were Marlach, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tizros. These were the clan of the Manasseh, and those enrolled numbered 52,700. These were the descendants of the Ephraim by their clans through Shuthelah, the clan of the Shuthelahite, through Betcha, the clan of the Betcherite, through Tahans, the clan of the Tahanite. These were the descendants of the Shuthelah through Iran, the clan of the Iranite. These were the clan of the Ephraimite, of whom there were enrolled 32,500. These were the descendants of the Joseph by their clans. The descendants of the Benjamin by their clans were through Bela, clan of the Belalite, through Ashbel, the clan of the Ashbelite, through Iram, the clan of the Iramite, through Shopham, the clan of the Shophamite, through Hopham, the clan of the Hophamite. The sons of the Bela were Ard and Naaman. Through Ard, the clan of the Ardite. Through Namra, the clan of the Namite. These were the descendants of the Benjamin by their clans, of whom there were in all of 45,600. These were the descendants of the Dan by their clan, through Shuham, the clan of the Shuhamite. These were the clan of the Dan, of whom there were in all 64,400. The descendants of the Asher by the clan were through Imnah, the clan of the Imnite. Through Ishvi, the clan of the Ishvite. Through Beriah, the clan of the Belalite. Through Hebron, the clan of the Hebrite. Through Malchiel, the clan of the Malchielite. The name of the Asher daughter was Sarah. These were the clan of the descendants of the Asher, of whom there were in all 53,400. The descendants of the Naphtali by the clans were through Zadher, the clan of the Zazilite. Through Guni, the clan of the Gunite. Through Zezor, the clan of the Zezilite. Through Silam, the clan of the Shilamite. These were the clan of the Naphtali, of whom there were in all 45,400. These were the Israelites who were in all 600 and 100, 730. Allotment of the land. The Lord said to Moses, among these the land shall be divided as the heritage in keeping with the number of the people named. To a large tribe you shall assign a large heritage, to small tribe a small heritage, each receiving its heritage in proportion to the numbers enrolled in it. But the land shall be divided by lot, all inheriting according to the list of their ancestral tribes. As a lot falls, the heritage of each tribe, large or small, will be assigned. Census of the Levite. These were the Levites enrolled by clans: through Goshen, the clan of the Goshenite; through Koras, the clan of the Korathite; through Morales, the clan of the Moralite. These were the clan of the Levite, the clan of the Livnite, the clan of the Hebronite, the clan of the Marlite, the clan of the Mushite, the clan of the Korahite. Now Korah begat Amram, whose wife was named Jochebed. She was the daughter of the Levi, born to Levi in Egypt. To Amram she bore Aaron and Moses and Miriam, their sisters. To Aaron was born Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died when they offered unauthorized fire before the Lord. The Levites enrolled were 23,000, every male, woman, or more of age. They were not enrolled with the other Israelites. However, for no heritage was given them among the Israelites. These then were those enrolled by Moses and Eleazar the priest when they enrolled the Israelites on the plain of the Moab along the Jordan at Jericho. Among them there was not one of those who had been enrolled by Moses and Aaron the priest when they enrolled the Israelites in the wilderness of the Sinai. For the Lord had told them that they would surely die in the wilderness, and not one of them was left except Caleb, son of the Jephunneh, and Joshua, son of Nun. Numbers chapter 27. Zelophehad's daughters. The daughter of the Zelophehad, the son of the Hephra, son of the Gilead, the son of the Machor, son of the Manasseh, came forward. The Zelophehad belonged to the clan of the Manasseh, son of the Joseph. The names of his daughters were Malas, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. Standing before Moses, Eleazar the priest, the prince, and the whole community at the entrance of the tent of the meeting, they said, "Our father died in the wilderness, although he did not join the faction of those who conspired against the Lord, Korah's faction. He died for his own sin without leaving any sons. But why should our father's name be cut out from his clan merely because he had no son? Give us a land among our father's kindreds. Laws concerning heirlessness. So Moses laid their cases before the Lord, and the Lord said to him, The plea of the Zelophehad daughter is just. You shall give them hereditary land among their father's kindred, and transfer their father's heritage to them. Tell the Israelites, if a man died without leaving a son, you shall transfer his heritage to his daughters. If he has no daughters, you shall give his heritage to his brothers. If he has no brothers, you shall give his heritage to his father's brothers. If his father has no brothers, you shall give his heritage to his nearest relative in his clan, who shall then take possession of it. This will be the statutory procedure for the Israelites, as the Lord commanded Moses. Joshua to succeed Moses. The Lord said to Moses, Go up into this mountain of the Abarim's range and view the land that I have given to the Israelites. When you have viewed it, you will be gathered to your people, as was Aaron your brothers. For in the rebellion of the community in the wilderness of the Zin, you both rebelled against my order to acknowledge my holiness before them by means of the war. These were the words of the Meribah of the Kadesh in the wilderness of the Zins. Then Moses said to the Lord, May the Lord God of the spirit of the whole humanity set over the community's summons. Who will be their leader in the battle, and who will lead them out and bring them in, that the Lord's community may not be like a sheep without a shepherd. And the Lord replied to Moses, Take Joshua, son of the Nun, a man of the Spirit, lay your hands upon him. Have him stand before Elijah the priest and the whole community, and commission him in their sight. Invest him with some of your own power, that the whole Israelite community may obey him. He shall present himself to Elijah the priest, who will seek for him the decision of the Urim in the Lord's presence, and as it directed Joshua all the Israelites with him, and the whole community will go out for the battle, and as it directed they will come in. Moses did as the Lord had commanded him, taking Joshua and having him stand before Elijah the priest and the whole communities. He laid his hand on him and commissioned him as the Lord has directed through Moses. Numbers chapter 28, General Sacrifice. The Lord said to Moses, Give the Israelites this commandment at their prescribed times. You will be careful to present to me and the food offering that are due me. Oblation of the pleasing aroma to me, each morning and evening. You will tell them, therefore, this is the oblation which you will offer to the Lord, 2 unblemished yearling lamb each day as the regular burnt offerings. Offering 1 ram in the morning and the other during the evening twilight, each with a grain offering of the 1/10 of an ephah of the brown flour mixed with a fourth of a hint of the oil of the crushed olives. This is a regular burnt offering that was made at the mountain Sinai for a pleasing aroma, an oblation to the Lord. And as a libation for the first lamb, you will make a libation to the Lord in the sanctuary of the fourth of the hint of the strong drinks. The other lamb you will offer during the evening twilight, making the same grain offering and the same libation as in the morning, as an oblation of the pleasing aroma to the Lord. On the Sabbath. On the Sabbath day, 2 unblemished yearling lambs with a grain offering of the 2/10 of the ephah of the brown flour mixed with the oil and its libation. This is Sabbath's burnt offering each Sabbath in addition to the regular burnt offering and its libations. At the new moon feast. On your new moons, you will offer as a burnt offering to the Lord 2 bulls of the wholes or 1 ram and 7 unblemished yearling lambs. With 3/10 of the ephah of the brown flour mixed with oil as the grain offering for each bull, 2/10 of the ephah of the brown flour mixed with oil as the grain offering for the ram. And 1/10 of the ephah of the brown flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for each lamb, a burnt offering with a pleasing aroma, on oblation to the Lord. Their libation will consist of the half a hin of the wine for each bull, a third of the hin for the lamb, a fourth of the hin for each lamb. This is a burnt offering for the new moon, for every new moon through the months of the years. Moreover, there will be 1 goat for a purification offering to the Lord. It will be offered in addition to the regular burnt offering and its libations. At the Passover. The 14th day of the first month is the Passover the Lord, and the 15th day of this month is the pilgrimage feast. For 7 days unleavened bread is to be eaten. On the first day you will declare a holy day, and you shall do no heavy works. You will offer an oblation of burnt offering to the Lord 2 bulls of the herd, 1 ram, and 7 yearling lambs that you are sure are unblemished. The grain offering will be of brown flour mixed with oil. You will offer 3/10 of the ephah for each bull and 2/10 for the lamb. You will offer 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs, and 1 goat as a purification offering to make atonement for yourselves. This offering you will make in addition to the morning burnt offering, which is a part of the regular burnt offerings. You will make exactly the same offering each day for 7 days as food offerings, oblation of the pleasing aroma to the Lord. They will be offered in addition to the regular burnt offering with its libations. On the 7th day you will declare a holy day, so you shall do no heavy works. At Pentecost. On the day of the first fruit, on your feast of the weeks, when you present to the Lord an offering of the new grain, you will declare a holy day. You shall do no heavy work. You will offer burnt offering for the pleasing aroma to the Lord, 2 bulls of the herd, 1 ram, and 7 yearling lambs you are sure are unblemished. The grain offering will be of brown flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of the ephah for each bull, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 rams. 1 goat will be for purification offering to make atonement for yourselves. You will make this offering together with their libation in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offerings. Numbers chapter 29. On New Year's Day. In the 7th month on the first day you will declare an holy day, and do no heavy works. It shall be a day on which you sound the trumpet. You will offer a burnt offering for the pleasing aroma to the Lord, 1 bull of the herds, 1 ram, and 7 unblemished yearling lambs. The grain offering will be brown flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of the ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 rams. 1 goat will be purification offering to make atonement for yourselves. These are in addition to the burnt offering for the new moon with its grain offering, and in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering, together with the libation prescribed for them for a pleasing aroma, on oblation to the Lord. On the day of the atonement. On the 10th day of this 7th month, you will declare a holy day. Humble yourselves and do not sort of rock. We will offer burnt offering to the Lord, a pleasing aroma, 1 bull of the herd, 1 ram, and 7 yearling lambs that you are sure are unblemished. The grain offering of the brown flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of the alfalfa for the bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. 1 goat will be purification offering. These are in addition to the purification offering for purging, the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and their libations. On the feast of the booths, on the 15th day of the 7th month, you will declare a holy day. You shall do no heavy work. For the following 7 days, you will celebrate the pilgrimage and feast to the Lord. We will offer a burnt offering or oblation of the pleasing aroma to the Lord, 13 bulls of the herd, 2 rams, and 14 yearling lambs that are unblemished. Their grain offering will be of the brown flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of the alfalfa for each of the 13 bulls, 2/10 for each of the 2 rams, and 1/10 for each of the 14 rams. 1 goat will be a purification offering. These are in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and libation. On the 2nd day, 12 bulls of the herd, 2 rams, and 14 unblemished yearling lambs. With the grain offering and the libation for the bulls, rams, and the lambs in their prescribed numbers, as well as 1 goat as a purification offering beside the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and the libations. On the 3rd day, 11 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 unblemished yearling lambs. With the grain offering and the libation for the bulls, lambs, and the lambs in their prescribed numbers, as well as 1 goat for purification offering beside the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and the libation. On the 4th day, 10 bulls, 2 lambs, and 14 unblemished yearling lambs. The grain offering and the libation for the bulls, rams, and the lambs in their prescribed numbers, as well as 1 goat as a purification offering beside the regular burnt offering, its grain offering and the libations. On the 5th day, the 9 bulls, 2 rams, and the 14 unblemished yearling lambs. With the grain offering and the libation for the bulls, lamb, and the lambs in the prescribed numbers, as well as 1 goat as a purification offering beside the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and the libation. On the 6th day, the 8 bulls, 2 rams, and the 14 unblemished yearling lambs. With the grain offering and the libation for the bulls, rams, and the lambs in the prescribed numbers, as well as 1 goat as a purification offering beside the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and the libations. On the 7th day, 7 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 unblemished yearling lambs. With the grain offering and the libation for the bulls, rams, and the lambs in their prescribed numbers, as well as 1 goat as a purification offering beside the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and the libation. On the 8 days you will hold a public assembly. You shall do no heavy works. We will offer a burnt offering on oblation of the pleasing aroma to the Lord, 1 bull, 1 lamb, 7 and 7 unblemished yearling lambs. With the grain offering and the libation for the bulls, the rams, and the lambs in their prescribed numbers, as well as 1 goat as a purification offering beside the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and the libation. These are the offerings you will make to the Lord on your festivals, beside your votive or voluntary offering of the burnt offerings, grain offering, libation, and the communion offerings. Number chapter 30. So Moses instructed the Israelites exactly as the Lord had commanded him. Validity and annulment of vows. Moses said to the head of the Israelite tribes, "This is what the Lord has commanded. When a man makes a vow to the Lord or binds himself under oath to the pledge, he shall not violate his word, but must fulfill exactly the promise he has uttered. When a woman makes a vow to the Lord or binds herself to the pledge while still in her father's house in her youth, and her father learns of her vow or the pledge to which she bound herself and said nothing to her about it, and any vow or any pledge to which she bound herself remains valid. But if on the days he learns of it her father opposes her, then any vow or any pledge to which she bound herself becomes invalid, and the Lord will release her from it since her father opposed her. If she marries while under a vow or under a rash pledge to which she bound herself, and her husband learns of it, yet said nothing to her on the day he learns it, that the vows or the pledge to which she bound herself remain invalid. But if on the day her husband learns of it he opposes her, he thereby annuls the vow she had made or rash pledge to which she had bound herself, and the Lord will release her from it. The vow of the widow or of the divorced woman, however, any pledge to which such a woman binds herself is valid. If it is in her husband's house that she makes a vow or binds herself under oath to the pledge, and her husband learns of it yet says nothing to her to oppose her, then all her vows remain valid or any pledge to which she has bound herself. But if on the days he learns of them her husband annuls them, then whatever she has expressly promised in her vows or in her pledge becomes invalid. Since her husband has annulled them, the Lord will release her from them. Any vow or any pledge that she makes on the oath to humble herself, her husband may either confirm or annul. But if her husband the day after they said nothing at all to her, he thereby confirms all her vows or all the pledges incumbent upon her. He has confirmed them because on the day he learned of them he said nothing to her. If, however, he annuls them sometimes after he first learns of them, he will be responsible for her guilt. These are the statutes which the Lord commanded Moses concerning a husband and his wife, as well as her father and his daughter while she is still in her youth in her father's house. Numbers chapter 31. The Lord said to Moses, "Avenge the Israelites on the Midianite, and then you will be gathered to your peoples." So Moses told the people, "Arm some men among you from the campaign to attack Midian and to execute the Lord's vengeance on Midians. From each tribe of the Israel you will send 1,000 men to the campaigns. From the contingent of Israel, therefore 1,000 men of each tribe will Levite, so that there were 12,000 men armed for wars. Moses sent them out on the campaign, 1,000 from each tribe, with Phinehas, son of Elijah, the priest for the campaigns, who had with him the sacred vessels and the trumpet for the sounding the alarm. They waged war against the Midianites as the Lord had commanded Moses, and killed every male. Besides those slain in battle, they killed the kings of the Midian, Evi, Rechem, Juz, Hor, and Reba, the 5 kings of the Midian, and they also killed Balaam, son of the Beor, with the sword. But the Israelites took captive the women of the Midianites with their children, and all their herds and the flock and the wells as loot, while they set on fire all the towns where they had settled and all their encampments. Then they took all the plunder with the people and the animals they had captured, and brought the captives together with the spoil and the plunders. To Moses and Elijah the priest and to the Israelite community at their camp on the plain of the Moab by the Jordan opposite Jericho. Treatment of the captives. When the Moses and Elijah the priest with all the rest of the community went outside the camp to meet them, Moses became angry with the official of the army, the commander of the thousand and the commander of the hundreds, who were returning from the military campaigns. So you will have spared all the women, he exclaimed. These are the very ones who, when Balaam's advice were behind the Israelites, unfaithful to the Lord in the affair at Peor, so that plague struck the Lord communities. Now kill therefore every male among the children and kill every woman who has had sexual relation with a man. But you may spare for yourselves all the girls who have not had sexual relations. Purification after combat. Moreover, remain outside the camp for the 7 days. Every one of you who has killed anyone or touched someone killed will purify yourselves on the third and on the seventh day, both you and your captives. We also purify every garment, every article of the leather, everything made of the gold, hairs, and every article of the wood. Elijah the priest told the soldier who had taken part in the battle, "This is the prescribed ritual which the Lord has commanded Moses. Gold, silver, bronze, iron, tin, and lead. Whatever can stand the fire you shall put into the fire that it may become clean. However, it must also be purified with the water of the purifications. But whatever cannot stand the fire you must put into the world. On the seventh day you will wash your garment, and then you will again be cleansed. After that you may enter the camps." Division of the spoils. The Lord said to Moses, with the help of the Elijah the priest and of the head of the ancestral house of the community, inventory all the spoil, capture the human being and the beast alike. Then divide the spoil between the warriors who went on the campaign and the whole communities. You will levy a tax for the load on the soldier who went on the campaigns, one out of every 500 person, oxen, donkeys, and sheep. From their harp you will take it and give it to the Elijah the priest as a contribution to the Lord. From the Israelite harp you will take one captive from every 50 human beings, oxen, donkeys, and sheep, all the animals, and give them to the Levite who perform the duty of the Lord tabernacles. So Moses and Elijah the priest did this as the Lord has commanded Moses. Amount of the plunders. This plunder was left of the loot which the troops had taken, amount to the 675,000 sheep, 72,000 oxen, 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 women who had not had sexual relations. The harp share that fell to those who had gone out on the campaign was in numbers 3,000 and 37,500 sheep, of which 675 fell as tax to the Lord. 36,000 oxen, of which 72 fell as tax to the Lord. 30,500 donkeys, of which 61 fell as tax to the Lord. And 16,000 persons, of whom 32 persons fell as tax to the Lord. Moses gave the tax contribute to the Lord to Elijah the priest, exactly as the Lord had commanded Moses. As for the Israelite harp which Moses had taken from the men who had fought, the community harp was 337,500 sheep, 36,000 oxen, 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 persons. From the Israelite harp, Moses took one captive from every 50 from human being and beast alike, and gave them to the Levite, who performed the duty of the Lord tabernacles, exactly as the Lord had commanded Moses. Kept up the officials. Then those who the official of the contingent of the army, commander of the 1,000 and the commander of the 100, came up to Moses and said to him, Your servant have counted the soldiers under our command, and not one of us is missing. So we have brought as an offering to the Lord the article of the gold that each of us has picked up, anklet, bracelet, rings, earring, or pendants, to make atonement for ourselves before the Lord. Moses and Aaron the priest accepted the gold from them, all fashioned pieces. The gold that was given as a contribution to the Lord from the commander of the 1,000 and the commander of the 100 amounted in all to 16,750 shekels, which the common soldier had looted, each one kept for himself. So Moses and Aaron the priest accepted the gold from the commander of the 1,000 and of 100, and put it in the tent of the meeting as a reminder on behalf of the Israelites before the Lord. Numbers chapter 32, request of the Gad and the Reuben. Now the Reubenite and the Gadite had a very large number of the livestock, noticing that the land of the Jazer and the Gilead was a place suited to the livestock. The Gadite and the Reubenite came to Moses and Aaron the priest and the leader of the community and said, The region of the Ataros, the Dibon, Jazor, the Nimrod, the Heshbon, the Eleaz, the Sibam, Nebo, and the Balmeons. The land which the Lord has laid low before the community of Israel is a land for livestock, and your servant have livestock. They continued, If we found favor with you, let this land be given to your servant as their possession. Do not make us cross the Jordan. Request of the Gad and the Reuben. But Moses answered the Gadite and the Reubenite, Are you kindred then to go to war while you remain here? Why do you wish to discourage the Israelites from crossing to the land the Lord has given them? That is just what your ancestors did when I sent them from Kadesh Barnea to Lycaonia the land. They went up to the Wadi Eshcol and reconnoitered the land, then so discouraged the Israelites that they would not enter the land the Lord had given them. At that time the anger of the Lord flared up and he swore, None of the men 20 years old or more who have come out from Egypt will see the land I promised on the oath to the Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, because they have not followed me unreasonably. Except the Kenizzite Caleb son of the Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, and Joshua son of Nun, since they have followed the Lord unreasonably. So the anger of the Lord flared up against the Israelites, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until the whole generation that had done evil in the sight of the Lord had disappeared. And now here you are, offspring of the sinful stock, rising up in your ancestor place to add still more to the Lord's blazing anger against the Israelites. If you turn away from following him, he will again abandon them in the wilderness, and you will bring about the ruin of this entire people. Counter proposals. But they approached him and said, We will only build the sheepfolds here for our flock and the town for our families. But we ourselves will march as troops in the vanguard before the Israelites until we have led them to their destinations. We and our families will remain in the fortified towns because of the land's inhabitants. We will not return to our homes until all the Israelites have taken possession of their heritages. But we will not claim any heritage with them across the Jordan and beyond, because we have received the heritage for ourselves on the eastern side of the Jordan. Agreement reached. Moses said to them in reply, if you do this, if you march as troops before the Lord into battles, and cross the Jordan in full force before the Lord until he has driven his enemies out of his way, and the land is subdued before the Lord, then you may return here free from every obligation to the Lord and to Israel, and this land will be your possession before the Lord. But if you do not do this, you will have sinned against the Lord, and you can be sure that consequences of your sin will overtake you. Build the towns then for your families and the fold for your flock, but fulfill what you have promised. The Gadite and the Reubenite answered Moses, your servant will do as my Lord commands. While our wives and children, our livestock and other animals remain there in the town of the Gileadites, all your servant will go across as armed troops before the Lord to battle, just as my Lord says. So Moses gave this command in the regard to Eleazar the priest, to Joshua son of Nun, and to head up the ancestral houses of the Israelite tribes. He said to them, if all the Gadite and the Reubenite cross the Jordan with you in full force before the Lord into battle, the land will be subdued before you, and you will give them Gilead as possessions. But if they will not go across in force with you before the Lord, you will bring their wives and the children and the livestock across before you into Canaan, and they will possess a holding among you in the land of the Canaanites. To this the Gadite and the Reubenite replied, we will do what the Lord has ordered your servant. We ourselves will go across in force before the Lord into the land of the Canaan, but we will retain our hereditary property on this side of the Jordan. So Moses gave them the Gadite and the Reubenite, as well as half the tribe of the Manasseh, son of the Joseph, the kingdom of the Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of the Og, the king of the Bashan, the land with towns and the district of the surrounding towns. The Gadite rebuilt the city of the Dibon, Ataros, Aroer, Ataros, Shaphan, Zajos, Jogbehar, Beth Nimrod and Beth Horon, fortified cities and sheepfolds. The Reubenite rebuilt the Heshbon, the Elealeh, Gilead 8 times. Nebo, Bar Meon, named to be changed, and the Sibmar. This town which they rebuilt they called by their old names. Other conquest. The descendant of the mature son of the Manasseh went to the Gilead and captured it, disposing the Amorites who were theirs. Moses gave Gilead to the mature son of the Manasseh, and he settled there. Jair, a descendant of the Manasseh, went and captured their 10 villages and called them Havos Jairos. Nobah went and captured the Kenars with its dependencies and called it Nobah after his own names. Numbers chapter 33, Stage of the Journey. The following are the stages by which the Israelites went out by companies from the land of Egypt under the guidance of the Moses and Aaron. Moses recorded the starting point of the various stages at the direction of the Lord. These are the stages according to their starting points. They set out from Ramesses in the first month. On the 15th day of the first month, on the day after Passover, the Israelites went forth in triumph in view of the old Egypt. While the Egyptians buried those whom the Lord had struck down, every firstborn on their God too, the Lord executed the judgment from Egypt to Sinai. Setting out from the Ramesses, the Israelites camped at the Sukkot. Setting out from the Sukkot, they camped at the Etam near the edge of the wilderness. Setting out from the Etam, they turned back to the Pi-hahiroth, which is opposite the Baal-zephon, and they camped opposite the Migdol. Setting out from the Pi-hahiroth, they crossed over through the sea into the wilderness, and after they traveled a 3 days' journey in the wilderness of the Etam, they camped at Marah. Setting out from Marah, they camped to Elim. At Elim, there were 12 springs of the water and 70 palm trees, and they camped there. Setting out from Elim, they camped beside the Red Sea. Setting out from the Red Sea, they camped in the wilderness of the Sin. Setting out from the wilderness of the Sin, they camped at the Dabgars. Setting out from the Dabgars, they camped at the Arus. Setting out from Arus, they camped at the Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. Setting out from the Rephidim, they camped in the wilderness of the Sinai. From Sinai to the Kadesh. Setting out from the wilderness of the Sinai, they camped at the Kibroth Hattaavah. Setting out from the Kibroth Hattaavah, they camped at the Hazeroth. Setting out from the Hazeroth, they camped at the Rithmah. Setting out from the Rithmah, they camped at the Rimmon Perez. Setting out from the Rimmon Perez, they camped at the Libnah. Setting out from the Libnah, they camped at the Rissa. Setting out from the Rissa, they camped at the Galehaddars. Setting out from the Galehaddars, they camped at the mountain Shepherds. Setting out from the mountain Shapha, they camped at the Haradas. Setting out from the Haradah, they camped at the Maghalos. Setting out from the Maghalos, they camped at the Tahas. Setting out from the Tahas, they camped at the Teras. Setting out from the Terah, they camped at the Mizgah. Setting out from the Mizgah, they camped at the Hashmonas. Setting out from the Hashmonah, they camped at the Moseros. Setting out from the Moseros, they camped at the Bene Zakans. Setting out from the Bene Zakan, they camped at the mountain Gidgad. Setting out from mountain Gidgad, they camped at the Jotbathars. Setting out from the Jotbathars, they camped at the Abulonas. Setting out from the Abulona, they camped at the Ezion Geber. Setting out from the Ezion Geber, they camped in the wilderness of the Zin, that is Kadesh. From Kadesh to the plain of the Moab. Setting out from Kadesh, they camped at the mountain Hor on the border of the land of the Edom. Aaron the priest ascended the Mount Hor at the Lord's direction, and there he died in the 40th year after the departure of the Israelites from the land of Egypt, on the first day of the 5th month. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. When the Canaanite, the king of the Arad, who ruled over the Negev in the land of the Canaan, heard that the Israelites were coming. Setting out from Mount Hor, they camped at the Zalmonas. Setting out from the Zalmonah, they camped at the Punons. Setting out from the Punon, they camped at the Obos. Setting out from the Obos, they camped at the Li-Abarims on the border of the Moabs. Setting out from the Li-Abarims, they camped at the Dibon Gad. Setting out from the Dibon Gad, they camped at the Almon Dibulatimes. Setting out from the Almon Dibulatim, they camped at the Abarim range opposite Nebo. Setting out from the Abarim range, they camped on the plain of the Moab by the Jordan opposite Jericho. They camped by the Jordan on the plains of Moab, extended from the Beth Jeshimoth to the Abel Shittims. Conquest and the division of the Canaanites. The Lord spoke to Moses on the plain of the Moab by the Jordan opposite Jericho. Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you go across the Jordan into the land of the Canaanites, dispossess all the inhabitants of the land before you, destroy all their stone figures, destroy all their molten images, and demolish all their high places. You will take possession of the land and settle in it, for I have given you the land to possess. You will apportion the land among yourselves by lot, clan by clan, assigning the large heritage to the large clan and the small heritage to the small clan. Wherever anyone's lot falls, there will his possession be. You will apportion these shares within your ancestral tribes. But if you do not dispossess the inhabitant of the land before you, those whom you allow to remain will become barbs in your eyes and thorns in your side, and they will harass you in the land where you live. And I'll treat you as I had intended to treat them. Numbers chapter 34, the boundaries. The Lord spoke to Moses, give the Israelites this order: when you enter the land of the Canaan, this is the territory that shall fall to you as your heritage, the land of Canaan with its boundaries. Your southern boundary will be at the wilderness of the Zin along the border of the Edom. On the east, your southern boundary will begin at the end of the Salt Sea. Then your boundary will turn south of the Akrabim Pass and cross Zin, terminating south of the Kadesh Barnea. It extends to the Hazar Adar and cross to Azmon. Then the boundary will turn from the Azmon to the Wadi of the Egypt and terminate at the seas. For your western boundary, you will have the Great Sea with its coast. This will be your western boundaries. This will be your boundary on the north. From the Great Sea, you will draw a line to Mountain Horse, and draw it from Mount Hor to the river Hamas, with the boundary terminating at the Zedad. Then the boundary extends to the Ziphron and terminate at the Hazar Enon. This will be your northern boundaries. For your eastern boundary, you will draw a line from Hazar Enon to Shalpham. From Shalpham, the boundary will go down to Riblah, east of the Ain, and descending further, the boundary will strike the ridge on the east side of the Sea of the Chinnoras. Then boundary will descend along the Jordan and terminate with the Salt Sea. This will be your land with the boundary that surround it. Moses also gave this order to Israel: this is the land to be apportioned among you by lot, which the Lord has commanded to be given to the 9.5 tribes. For the tribe of the Reubenites according to their ancestral houses, and the tribe of the Gadites according to the ancestral houses, as well as half of the tribe of the Manasseh, have already received their heritages. These 2.5 tribes have received their heritage across the Jordan opposite Jericho in the east toward the sunrise. Supervisor of the allotment, the Lord spoke to Moses: these are the names of the men who shall apportion the land among you: Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun. And you will designate the one leader from each of the tribes to apportion the land. These are the names of the men from the tribe of Judah: Caleb son of the Jephunneh. From the tribe of the Simonite, Samuel son of the Amihud. From the tribe of the Benjamin, Elidad son of the Jerusalem. From the tribe of the Danite, the reader Buki son of the Jabulais. For the descendant of the Joseph, from the tribe of the Manasseh, the reader Haniel son of the Ephod, and from the tribe of the Ephraimite, the reader Kemuel son of the Shephatan. In tribe of the Jebulite, the reader Elizaphan son of the Barnahus. From the tribe of the Issacharite, reader Patia son of the Azan. From the tribe of the Asherite, reader Ihud son of the Salomis. From the tribe of the Naphthalite, reader Pedalel son of the Amihud. These are the ones whom the Lord commanded the apportion to the Israelites, their heritage in the land of the Canaan. Numbers chapter 35, the city for the Levites. The Lord spoke to Moses on the plain of the Moab by the Jordan opposite Jericho. Command the Israelites out of the heritage they possessed to give the Levite city to dwellings. You will also give the Levite the pastoral lands around the cities. The city will be for them to dwell in, and the pastoral land will be for their cattle, their flock, and all their other animals. The pastoral land of the city to be assigned to Levite shall extend 1,000 cubits out from the city walls in every direction. You will measure out 2,000 cubits outside the city along the east side, 2,000 cubits along the south side, 2,000 cubits along the west side, and 2,000 cubits along the north side, with the city lying in the center. These will be the pastoral land of their cities. Now these are the cities you will give to the Levite, to the sixth city of the Asherim, which you must establish for the homicide to run to, and in addition 42 other cities. A total of the 48 cities with their pastoral land which you will assign to the Levite. In assigning the city from what the Israelites possess, take more from larger group and fewer from the smaller ones, so that each will cede cities to the Levite in proportion to the heritage which it receives. City of the Asherim. The Lord spoke to Moses, "Speak to Israelites and say to them, when you go across the Jordan into the land of the Canaanites, select for yourself cities to serve as cities of the Asherim, where a homicide who has killed someone inadvertently may afflict. These cities will serve you as a place of the Asherim from the avenger of the blood, so that the homicide will not put to death until tried before the communities. As for the cities you assign, you will have 6 cities of the Asherims. You will designate 3 cities beyond the Jordan, and you will designate 3 cities in the land of the Canaanites. These will be cities of the Asherims. These 6 cities will serve as a place of the asylum for the Israelites and for the resident or transient aliens among them, so that anyone who has killed a person inadvertently may flee theirs. Murder and manslaughter. If someone strikes another with an iron instrument and causes death, that person is a murderer, and the murderer must be put to death. Or if someone strikes another with a death-dealing club in the left hand and the death results, that person is a murderer, and the murderer must be put to death. The avenger of the blood is the one who will kill the murderers, putting the individual to death on sight. If someone pushes another out of hatred of the throws something from an ambush and death results. Or strike another with the hand out of the ambush and death results, the assailant must be put to death as murderers. The avenger of the blood will kill the murderer on sight. However, if someone pushes another without the malice of forethought, or without lying in the ambush, throws some object at another, or without seeing drops upon another some death-dealing stone and the death results, although there was neither ambush nor malice. Then the community will judge between the assailant and the avenger of the blood in accordance with these norms. The community will deliver the homicide from the avenger of the blood, and the community will return the homicide to the city of the Asherim, where the latter had fled. And the individual will stay there until the death of the high priest who has been anointed with sacred oils. If the homicide lives at all the bounds of the city of Asherim to which a flight had been made, and is founded by the avenge of the blood beyond the bounds of the city of the Absalom, and the avenger of the blood carries the homicide. The avenger incurs no blood guilt. For the homicide was required to stay in the city of the Absalom until the death of the high priest. Only after the death of the high priest made the homicide return to the land of the homicide possession. This is the statute for you throughout all your generations, wherever you live, for rendering judgment. Whenever someone kills another, the evidence of the witness is required to kill the murderers. A single witness does not suffice for bringing a person to death. No indemnities. You will not accept the compensation in place of the life of the murderers who deserve to die, but that person must be put to death. Nor will you accept the compensation to allow one who has fled to a city of the Absalom to return to live in the land before the death of the high priest. You will not pollute the land where you lived, for bloodshed pollute the land, and the land can have no expiation for the blood shed on it, except through the blood of the one who shed it. Do not defile the land in which you live and in the midst of which I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell in the midst of the Israelites. Numbers chapter 36, Inheritance of the Doors. The head of the ancestral houses in a clan of the descendant of the Gilead, son of the Machor, son of the Manasseh, one of the Josephite clans, came up and spoke before Moses and Eleazar the priest and before the leader who were head of the ancestral houses of the Israelites. They said, the Lord commanded my Lord to apportion the land by lot for heritage among the Israelites. And my Lord was commanded by the Lord to give the heritage of the Zelophehad, our kinsman, to his daughters. But if they marry into one of the other Israelite tribes, their heritage will be withdrawn from our ancestral heritage and will be added to that of the tribe into which they married. Thus the heritage that fell to us by a lot will be diminished. When the Israelites celebrate the Jubilee year, the heritage of these women will be added to that of the tribe into which they marry, and the heritage will be withdrawn from that of our ancestral tribes. So Moses commanded the Israelites at the direction of the Lord. The tribe of the Josephite are right in what they say. This is what the Lord commands with regard to the daughter of the Zelophehad, that they may marry anyone they please, provided they marry into a clan of their ancestral tribes, so that no heritage of the Israelites will pass from one tribe to another, but all the Israelites will retain their own ancestral heritages. Every daughter who inherits property in any of the Israelite tribes will marry someone belonging to the clan of her own ancestral tribe, in order that all the Israelites may remain in possession of their own ancestral heritages. Thus no heritage will pass from one tribe to another, but all Israelite tribes will retain their own ancestral heritages. The daughter of the Zelophehad did exactly as the Lord commanded Moses. Mahalah, Tizlah, Hoglah, Mikah, and Noah, Zelophehad's daughters, married the sons of their uncles on their father's side. They married within the clan of the descendant of the Manasseh, son of the Joseph. Hence, their marriage remained in tribe of their father's clans. Conclusion. These are the commandment and the decision which the Lord commanded the Israelites through Moses on the plain of the Moab beside the Jordan opposite Jericho.